Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run It Up podcast here on the Rise Network. I'm your host, Najee Adams. You know, I got the guys with me today. We got our boy back in the building, Mr. Khalil Baker and
Sir.
Justice Gregory back for another week. How y'all been? How y'all been doing?
Chilling, bro. Just trying to
I've
work
been
to take
good.
care of his baby.
Yeah,
Busy.
new father vibes. Khalil, my boy was working, doing big things. He, like we said, the Tatum pod is on the way, clearly, because he went to watch the Bulls and the Celtics play. So
Bro, it was crazy. It was crazy.
The Rosen courtside and shit. I was like, well,
just about. I was right behind the Bulls bench though, and Tatum and DeRozan were going nuts. 46 piece from DeRozan.
Who won that game? The Celtics won that game.
Celtics won the game. It was close for the most part, but Celtics pulled it out.
That's lit. And today we got a little NFL, a little NBA for y'all, a little mix, because we're in the smack of both seasons, so we might as well talk about them. For NFL, we're going to talk top 10 quarterbacks in NFL right now this season, and then we're going to give our midseason NFL awards. We're heading into week 10, so we got about like eight more of these things to go. So it's about the right time to do midseason. And then for NBA, we're talking Anthony Davis trade scenarios. Talking Luka's leap, Desmond Bane's leap, Grizzlies best backcourt in the NBA ? We are also talking whether or not the Kings made the right decision in the De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton trade. Well, not trade, but picking one of them over the other. And I think that's it. We got a little jam-packed schedule today, but we're gonna get to all of it. And so, yeah, I guess we could just kind of, and we're talking about the Nets firing Steve Nash. Boom. I knew I was missing something. But we could just go ahead and get on into our top 10 quarterbacks in NFL this season. So we had a difficult time kind of setting parameters for what this means, because it could mean, like top 10 quarterbacks and, projecting their rest of the season, or like projecting where they're going to go next year throughout their careers, in which case we would have, a bunch of younger guys on here. But we decided to keep it locked in on top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL this season, right now, 9 weeks through the NFL season. And so we could just kind of say our 10 and then go back and dissect it. So for me, my top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now are Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa, Joe Burrow, Geno Smith, Tom Brady, Justin Herbert, and Kirk Cousins. And so that's my 10. Justice, what about you?
My top 10 is Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Geno Smith, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, Kirk Cousins, and Justin Fields.
All right. Justin Fields at 10. I wish I heard where he had him before the podcast, but Justin Fields at 10. Go ahead, Khalil, round us up. What's your top 10, bro?
Real quick, man. After 2, I don't even know what to do sometimes. It's so weird, especially just going off the season and how it's going now. But I'm going to go with number 1, Mahomes. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Number 4, Jalen Hurts. Number 5, Joe Burrow. Number 6, Geno Smith. Number 7, Justin Herbert. Number 8, Tom Brady. Number 9, Tua. Number 10, Kirk Cousins.
Okay, so we pretty much all had the same people. I think me and Khalil didn't have Justin Fields, and Justice didn't have Tom Brady. I think is the two outliers there. So please, Justice, go ahead and tell me why Justin Fields is a top 10 quarterback this season.
Well, listen, sometimes there's just agendas that need to be pushed. And Khalil will tell you, prior to Justin Fields becoming an NFL player, I just love me some Justin Fields.
One of the biggest man crushes ever.
It's insane. I love Justin Fields. I love everything about his leadership. I love everything about his just like body type, like just like how he looks on a football field. What Khalil describes him as thick, and I agree.
Yeah,
he's thick for sure.
Yeah, he's thick. 2 C's. And to me, I just like the weapon that Fields is. And behind a bad offensive line, he has made that offense look like they can move the ball. And if you watch the Bucks play, they don't look like they can move the ball because they can't. And I just think that Fields warrants recognition. I've said he's the 11th leading rusher in the NFL. The passing gets better every week. their offense in the last 3 weeks has looked more fluid than the Bucs have looked in the last 3 weeks. And I would say that I would side with Fields just for this season.
I think that's fair. For me, Fields is I was thinking about like honorable mentions and stuff. Fields will go at 11 for me. I think he has the most total touchdowns in NFL over like the past 3 weeks, something crazy like that. He's really taken, especially I feel like him and that offense have really taken a turn for the best. I don't know why it took them 7 weeks to start incorporating him in the run game, but here we are. He's got a strength. Let's use it. Who knew? The Bears started doing that, and he looks like one of the more dynamic rushers in the NFL at the quarterback position. I love me some Justin Fields. So
at any position.
At any position, yeah. Most of the time he's the best athlete on the field. And so the Bears started to use that to their advantage, and what do you know? They look like a competent offense. And so for me, Justin Fields goes at 11. I have Tom Brady. He wasn't originally in my top 10, and then I started going through this, and I took a look at like the NFL stats. I was going off the dome, I'm not gonna lie, which is kind of crazy considering like stats play a pretty big part in this. But I was going off the dome, and then I looked at Tom Brady's stats, or just like stats amongst QBs. He's second in passing yards. Yes, he only has 10 touchdowns, but he's only thrown 1 interception. He has 398 attempts. Like he's throwing, I think that's the most attempts in the NFL. He's throwing the ball quite a lot. And like when you look at his receiving situation has been since the beginning of the season, Julio Jones in and out of the lineup, Russell Gage dealing with injuries, Cameron Brate got injured, obviously K Dotton's come on, and I like K Dotton side mark, got him in Dynasty. Mike Evans has been really the only consistent piece in that offense, and even he missed a game with the whole Marshawn Lattimore thing. And so I just feel like Chris Godwin was missing the beginning of the season coming off the ACL, and then he got injured again with the hamstring. So it's just been a lot of moving pieces in and out of the offense for the Bucs, and Brady has still, even though as a team it hasn't really correlated to team success, I feel like he's doing as much as he can right now. And so that's why I put him in. I feel like for his receiving situation to still be the top 3 in passing yards, I couldn't leave you out of my top 10. So that's why I have him in there. Khalil, where do you fall on your side of the debate? I guess you fall on my side because you didn't have Justin Fields in
real quick
top 10. But.
Lil, tell me about Tom Brady.
I'll tell you about Justin Fields first.
Yes, sir. Talk to me about him.
I think it's a little. I know how you feel about Justin Fields. You talked about it.
All right, quit talking to me about him. It's going the wrong direction.
Of course it is. I didn't put him in my top 10. I love Justin Fields right now. I think he has progressed so much as a passer, just fixing his mechanics. Like he's throwing the ball. Like I looked at some of his college highlights from the other day, and it's night and day how he's throwing the ball, what it looks like. It's coming out a lot faster. He looks a lot more comfortable. He can rip it a lot better, especially over the middle of the field. And especially, I want to know what the conversation was like in the coaching room in the first 7 weeks of football, not incorporating him in a run game, doing QB design runs. I've watched a little bit of film on the Bears. I've only seen one QB run before then. I don't watch every play, or I didn't watch every play. But after that Patriots game, we saw him explode. And we saw that offense open up so much more. And I think he's on that trajectory as far as, creeping up closer to that top 10. The legs are real. A little tidbit for you, Justice. I haven't seen this clip yet, but I saw it. Chris Sims said that he is the best running quarterback in football right now. What do you think about that?
Probably valid, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Lamar's Lamar. He's super dynamic.
Yeah.
And it comes down to that conversation because Hurts is a great athlete and he runs the ball really well. And I think that a lot of that is schemed into him being able to run the ball really well and the way that they play off of play action in Philly. But for the most part, the level of athlete is Fields, Lamar, and then all the other quarterbacks.
Stupid.
I would agree.
Yeah,
and
I think like good stupid.
Yeah, and I think that if Fields is incorporated the way he's been incorporated, I think he looks, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, from a blind eye staring at it, it looks like, I don't know if his top speed is what Lamar's top speed is, but he accelerates.
I think his straight line. His straight line
so
speed is
fast,
insane.
The acceleration is real.
And I like his
crazy.
frame a little bit more for running the ball. It gives him some more room to be able to get a couple more yards where Lamar not really running through nobody, but he's going to shake you until he can't no more. You know what I'm saying? So I think it depends on the type of runner you prefer, but I think Fields can do a little bit of what Lamar can do, plus the power side of what Josh Allen can bring to you. So, and to me, I would say that makes him more of a dynamic runner and probably the best runner in football out of that position.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like I told you, like I don't think he was running like this in college, and he was a talented runner in college. And you sent me a tweet today about like how he wasn't known for his legs necessarily compared to like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson.
I saw that tweet too. It was like
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence had a year with more rushing yards than Justin Fields. So I was like, damn.
It's weird, but now he gets in the NFL. They're finally doing QB design runs. Even when they weren't, when he was just scrambling, he's just running by guys everywhere, like elite talent, elite athletes, like guys who deserve to be in the sport. He's running by them and making them look like they don't deserve to be there. So it's just crazy to me. And I think he can get closer to that top 10 once the throwing gets there a little bit more, just being more consistent, being able to rip it a little bit more. Sometimes it's just not all the way there, doesn't always connect, not always consistent. And going to Tom Brady, and even a little bit of Rodgers in this conversation too, the team is lacking in a lot of areas. I'm sorry. Keep your personal feelings out of it. The team is lacking in a lot of areas. And even with the Packers going into the season, we thought that defense was going to be really good. We thought the offense was going to run through Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, and the play calling hasn't been there. They have no weapons. Virtually, Lazard's been decent, right? But there just hasn't been a lot to that offense, and Aaron Rodgers hasn't been as aggressive as he needs to be. But you can also say the weapons aren't there to be as aggressive as he wants to be. I think Tom Brady is in that same situation with the team, lacking in some areas, especially on defense, and also not being able to run the ball. But I just watching Tom Brady, like he still looks like Tom Brady throwing the ball, maybe not as aggressive as he needs to be, quitting on plays sometimes with the offensive line, not wanting to get hit, all that stuff too. But I think Tom Brady still needs to be in that top 10 consideration. And it hurt me not to put Rodgers in there.
Yeah, I was looking at – go ahead, Joseph.
Here's my thing with Rodgers, bro. It's like it's gotten to a point – and I don't know if y'all listen to him when he goes on Pat McAfee. I always like to tune in just to see what type of bullshit.
I'll be the one posting the clips, boy.
just to see what he's gonna spew, because it's just like ridiculousness to listen to at this point.
Have you noticed that like he's gotten a little bit more like stern with Pat now that they're losing? It's not like they just like super duper front. Like they're still friendly, but Pat will ask him shit and he'll get like more annoyed. You know?
Yeah. Well, Rodgers need to do shrooms again, because this is just not working out. But you can tell that him not trusting his receivers has really almost dampened his decision making and the time that he would usually take to get rid of a ball, and like the trust that he had in a receiver to like know what he's going to do with it. So to an extent, it's the inexperience of the weapons he has, because I don't know, Dubes and Christian Watson could be fine in 2 years' time, but it just feels like with no chemistry, Rodgers is just kind of at a loss for where to go. And at least he always had the safety blanket of Devontae, and now he doesn't have that luxury. So now he's got to do something that a guy like Patrick Mahomes does: play with mediocre receivers and make them look amazing.
And the thing is, Rodgers has gotten to that point where he's just a little bit too old now, a little bit older, still, being able to throw it the way he usually does, but the improvising, the scrambling ability, and having to carry a team just isn't where.
But he's fresh off 2 MVPs, so like we can't back to back. Like the last 2 years, Aaron Rodgers won MVPs. Like the fall off can't just be that.
So I don't even think it's a huge fall off. It goes back to the decision making, like you're saying, also. Yeah. And then the team around him, the play calling, and just finding that connectivity. So even you talked about Dobbs and Watson, even Sammy Watkins in that conversation, and just trying to find some chemistry there. But he doesn't. When you get with those older guys like Tom Brady and Rodgers, like they don't immediately trust guys, and it takes a while to build up that rapport with them. So it's just a little different with their offense right now, and they're trying to find their way.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're trying to find. Teams. They're trying to find the way, and I just don't think they're going to anytime soon. So.
I don't want to be disrespectful, because I think Rodgers is the best thrower I've ever seen. So I don't want to come off.
Yeah, for sure. Like Rodgers he still should be a top 10 quarterback, He's just not playing up to that level right now, and his team is definitely not playing up to the level we thought they were going before the season. That's why I hope people don't take out of context what our rankings are, because they're probably going to get mad about some stuff like that. But I mean, it is what it is. He's just not playing to where he needs to be, or what we're used to, what we expect.
Coming into the season, I'm looking at people that we left out, and coming into the season, I feel like the only people that we didn't say that would probably have been in the conversation were, maybe Matt Stafford. A lot of people were talking about Matt Stafford top 10. That Rams team is just absolutely horrible. And I don't exactly know why they're so much worse than before. Can you hear me good? Am I bugging?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. I don't know why they're so much worse than before. The offensive line play, Andrew Whitworth retired, went to, Amazon Prime Video. He'd be on that Thursday night. But that offensive line looks absolutely horrible. Allen Robinson, I don't want to say Allen Robinson is washed, but
no, he's washed. That's fine.
He's not an Odell though. So
I was about to say he's not that same kind of receiver. Like Allen Robinson's never been like a like yak kind of guy. When
he's a possession man.
Yeah, he's a possession guy, and so like he's not gonna play that same Odell role. Van Jefferson's been in and out of the lineup, and I just don't think Matt Stafford has much chemistry with him. So Matt Stafford does not deserve the top 10 QB. Kyler Murray not in here for me.
That's heartbreaking.
I'm not a Kyler Murray fan, man. Honestly,
a lot of people are not. I've never seen. I
used to be.
People do not like Kyler Murray, but yeah, he's not in here for me. The Hopkins missed the first 6 games, but their offense hasn't looked great without. Even with him, he's thrown 12 touchdowns, 6 picks. He hasn't looked that great in the rushing game, and so he just doesn't crack. I don't think Kyler's bad by any means. I just think there's very clearly 10 quarterbacks that have been better than him. And one last person that we left out was Dak Prescott, and I think had he played the amount of games that every other QB in here has played, if he's 9 games deep, I think he's probably in here for me. But he's only played 3. And so since we're going off, what they've done this season, I just couldn't justify putting him in my top 10 quarterbacks after playing 3 games. But I think the surprises in here for everyone, like coming into the season, would have been Kirk Cousins and Geno Smith. I don't think 2-2. Yeah, 2-2. I don't think anyone suspected Geno Smith to be in the top 10 quarterback conversation at all. And yet somehow my guy is. I believe he still leads the NFL in completion percentage. He's looked great. The Seahawks, I want to say the Seahawks score the 4th most points in the NFL, which is just absolutely insane. A blessing coming into the season. Pete Carroll went from me not wanting him to be our head coach to fuck it, coach of the year, Pete Carroll. And so, being able to sustain a top 5 offense in the NFL with Geno Smith, granted, we have great receivers, and Ken Walker looks like the second coming of Barry Sanders. Now I'm playing, obviously not, but he looks amazing. So it's not all on Geno. And he does kind of play that little game manager role. He doesn't take too many shots. Ken Walker gets the job done on the ground, and we throw to the tight ends quite a lot. But, we're still scoring the 4th most points in NFL, and he's the core of that.
You say that, but he is 6th in yards. Like 2,100 passing yards. He's tied for 5th in touchdowns, 15 touchdowns, and he's only thrown 4 interceptions. Can go back a little bit to the game managing part, but he's making great decisions. He is making high-level throws from, an unpressured pocket, a messy pocket, like down the middle of the field, outside the numbers. Like, he's just making elite throws, and he's playing elite football right now. So leaving out of a top 10 would be crazy, but expecting this was, completely blindsided.
Nobody expected it.
Where did you all rank Geno in your list?
I have him 7. I have him after the top 4, after Tua, and after Joe Burrow.
6.
Okay. 6. I had him at 6 as well. I didn't know if you all had Tua above him or not.
Heck no.
I have Tua above him.
It was hard for me to not factor in what if this guy was in this situation, and a little bit of it. I tried not to. It's just based on their situation and the seasons. But I think Geno is playing well in his situation, and I think he'd play well in a lot of different situations, including the Dolphins, which it'd be hard to mess that up. So.
Yeah, and I said this to some idiot on TikTok who was mad at me for thinking Jalen.
I've become the Tua guy on the pod, I guess.
Yeah, good for you. I'm glad you're the Tua guy.
I don't even like him that much.
Tua's thrown the most uncatchable passes in football. So I'm just not big on Tua. Like, you talk about being weapon dependent, that's what weapon dependent looks like. Well, shit, I threw it. They might catch it, but if they catch it, they go run for 60 yards. So there we go. I mean, he underthrows Tyreek 3 times a game. So, like, I'm just not gonna sit here and act like Tua is amazing. I just refuse to do it. But he's been good enough to win. So, and I think that they're a contender with him. So
even last week against the Bulls, like the Bulls, just Chicago, the Bears. Even last week against the Bears, like it was in crunch time, they're up 3 points, and he needs to close the drive. He needs to finish the game, and he underthrows Waddle on this wheel route, and gave the Bears another chance to come back and score. They didn't, obviously, but like he underthrew that. Like, you need to make that pass. And he does that so many times in every game and throughout the season. He makes a lot of really good throws, especially over the middle. He's good at a lot of certain things like that, and he maximizes his abilities. But yeah, like, we have Tyreek Hill and Waddle and a really good play caller, McDaniel. Like, I don't know.
He probably plays with more receiver separation than anybody in football.
I think it's safe to say he has the best receiving duo in football.
Yeah, pretty easily. Yeah,
for sure.
I'm not going to sit here and defend Tua again. Nope. I'm not going to become that guy because I honestly don't like him that much. But I want to know how do y'all feel about Joe Burrow this season? Because
I don't know how to feel about the
been
Bengals.
really hot and cold. Like, I feel like sometimes they look great, sometimes they look absolutely horrible. So how do y'all feel about Joe Burrow?
It was definitely a rough start for Joe Burrow. Obviously, didn't have a preseason, was coming off that surgery. So it's going to take him a little bit to get it together. But just like Justice was saying, it's the offense for me. It's the Bengals as a team. They are hot and cold. Some week they will have a close game, and other week they'll blow someone out. It's so weird that way. But the offense is so inconsistent. They don't have an identity. You would think they'd be able to spread it out, and even then, it's not like it just doesn't sync. It's not smooth, and it's not as explosive as you want it to be. And the scheme is just not there. You think they'd be able to run the ball well, and they just can't do that with Joe Mixon consistently too. So I think it's less about Joe Burrow. I think he's playing well. I think he's an elite quarterback, and I think it's more about his surroundings in that situation specifically.
What about you, Justice? How you feeling about Joe Burrow?
It's just similar to how I feel about the Bengals. And I don't think that's a completely a reflection of Joe, but they're just so weird to watch. And it's just like, because you feel like that offense should be moving. And I get it, because the offensive line is not as great as, or not as improved as we thought it would be, if not worse than last year, actually, oddly enough. And I think that they've struggled to establish the run with Mixon. And last year, that was kind of their safe place, is like Mixon was running the ball really well last year. And they did a good job of creating those holes for him. And it just hasn't happened this year, except for last game when he just happened to explode out of absolutely nowhere. I just think that team, and not having Jamar Chase is brutal. Seriously, it has to be. But like, there was, what's his name? The guy on TikTok, Theo or whatever. It was like, like Jamar Chase creates a lot of separation, but then I watched other videos and his separation rate actually isn't great. So, but it's just that the threat of that weapon, I guess. And I just think Burrow is good. I think he's going to be good for a long time. I think that he has been let down by his offensive line a little bit, which probably causes the not amount of like ideal fluency you'd like in an offense.
No, I'm a pretty big Joe Burrow fan. I think
you picked him over Herbert, so I know you're.
I did pick him over Herbert, and I stand on
crazy.
That. I stand on that. I do.
It's not crazy. It's not. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think it's crazy.
It's not crazy. Yeah. Like Joe Burrow isn't some slouch. Like, it's not crazy. He can make every throw. Like, it's not crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
not every throw. Don't do that.
Yeah, he can make. He can make every throw. Bro.
Okay, Justice. He can. No, when we say every throw, like, he can make every throw you need to make. And then there's some guys
you talk about him throwing the ball 670 yards down the field.
No, I'm talking about you got a deep out somehow that there's on the right side of the field and you all the way on the left and you can zip one over it. And there's not very many people who can do that. Herbert's one of them. So
Burrow can make that throw.
Burrow can't make the throws Herbert can make.
I'm talking about some of the throws that only 3-4 guys in football can make. Some of those alien throws. It's Herbert, it's Allen, Mahomes, Rodgers. Those guys. Those are a special type of quarterback.
But Herbert can make the throws you're supposed to make. So I agree with that.
Thank you.
Every
And
throw you're
that's-
supposed to make, he can make.
And that's every throw. Now,
Right.
if you get extra with those other three guys,
The
and that's
psycho throws,
different.
he ain't got
The
that in the bag. But
What was Herbert for you? I had him 9.
I had Herbert at 8.
Okay.
7.
We're not that far. I thought we were super far off. We're not that far off. Okay.
I'm realistic. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, because he hasn't been that great this season. I give it to him. You know, Keenan Allen's been out damn near the whole year. Mike Williams got the injury. But come on now. He hasn't been
Okay,
great.
you go out there and throw to
play
Joshua
calling-
Palmer.
That Chargers offense does not look great, but you know.
That play calling's bad too. And
Yeah, Brandon Staley should not have a job right now. So you
it's
know, it is what
well,
it is.
he might be out soon. I don't know. He might get another chance because of all the injuries for the Chargers as well. But we'll see.
Yeah, Keenan's missing this week too, so it's we'll see what happens.
Tough.
I feel like we have we all have pretty similar lists. You know, I think we all have the same top 3, or no? Khalil has Lamar 3.
Yeah, I got Jackson at 3.
Yeah, you got
Talk to me
Lamar
about that.
3. You got
All
Lamar
right,
3.
I'll talk to you about that. I think Lamar is still, of course, the first 3 weeks were MVP level type of football, and it hasn't looked the exact same after that, which I think is not all on Lamar Jackson. I think they put a lot on Lamar Jackson, and I think he delivers. He's missed on some throws that you might want him to hit, and he's made in that one game, I can't remember what team it was against, but he made a terrible decision passing to Pat Ricard. I can't remember who it was, but you know, he made that mistake even then too. But I think he's still been playing really good ball. I think he's been the driving force of that offense when they can establish a run game. As always, even when they don't have receivers out there. Bateman's been, injured, coming back, still not where you might want him to be. Mark Andrews is out of the lineup as well. I still have Lamar at that number 3 spot, and I need to see a little bit more from Hurts. And I think Hurts has been amazing. I'm not taking anything away from Hurts. I still have Jackson at that number 3 spot. And I don't think he needs to be out of it just yet. But I can't argue putting Hurts at 3 either, though.
So Lamar's sitting at 1,700 yards, 62% completion, 16-5, 635 rushing yards and 2 TDs there. Hurts is sitting at 2,000 yards, 68% completion, 12 touchdowns to 2 picks, 326 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. I just like if we're basing it off of this season, like there's no argument for Lamar to be 3.
Lamar's playing with Rashad Bateman, or Lamar's playing with Devin Duvernay and Isaiah.
You can't pick and choose when to apply that logic.
But y'all were just applying that logic.
Yeah, but Lamar,
you were just applying that logic.
And it's not like Lamar's not playing well, but you got to think about the context of it. Like, he's playing great, and then everything else around him is even those 2 games, Bills and Dolphins. His defense just pooped the bed. It was piss poor.
Wait, hold on, Naj. Didn't you have Hurts above Lamar?
I do, but I'm saying,
what are you jumping on me for?
I'm not jumping on you.
I'm
not jumping on you, but I'm just saying.
It's like every Twitter group message I'm in.
No. I'm not jumping on you because I have Hurts 3 too. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna apply the logic of we're not gonna give Tua that much credit because he's playing with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, we have to keep the same energy and carry that over to
I had Tua at 7. He still made the
Hurts
list.
and Lamar. Now I still have Jalen Hurts higher, and I have Tua higher than what y'all have him. So that doesn't necessarily apply to me, but it definitely applies to you, buddy, because you were.
But I disagree.
How? Why? How can you disagree?
Do you mean why? I don't because I think you can. I think that's applicable to some places. Lamar is an offense by himself. He always has been. And we act like has he ever had great weapons around him? What we get from Lamar is what we get from Lamar. Like, he's never had a wide receiver 1. He's like, it's just not something he does. So like, the performance is the Lamar performance that we're just used to getting from the same group of talent. I mean, I get Andrews has been hurt, but Likely's very good. So like,
yeah. Why did they bring in Deshaun Jackson and think that was
he got a hamstring injury halfway through the game?
But that's my thing. It's like it's applicable to some situations. Like, Tua was playing with nobody, but he's still his numbers by like metrics are still pretty bad. But
he was not great when he was last year. When he was playing. Like, he was good in some spots, but like, he was not what he looks like right now. But you put another quarterback in that situation, he can probably carry a little bit.
Oh, Justin Herbert might win a Super Bowl if he's playing with them.
Right. Oh, right now I'm talking about last year. Like, if you put
last year, no. Yeah, but they were better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, it's applicable to a lot of people. But you look at the metrics for Tua, they're still bad, but he's got a little more forgiveness because he has Tyreek Hill and another year of Jalen Waddle.
I don't know if the metrics for Tua are that bad, bro. He's PFF's number one ranked quarterback.
He's leading. Those two, Tyreek and Waddle, are leading the league in uncatchable targets. His wide receiver 1 and 2.
They probably throw the ball quite a lot.
They're leading the league in uncatchable targets now.
They all. I mean, Tyreek Hill also leads the league in yards. So like you give and take.
I'm not a big Tua fan, but I do think he's playing well in some spots.
He is playing well. That's why he's 7.
Yeah, he is great. Yeah,
you're about to have Tua on your ass again.
That's fine.
They're coming for you.
He ain't better than Jalen Hurts. I'll tell you that for sure.
I'll shirt it up a little bit. Tua has great control of the offense for the most part. He's making a lot of really good high-level throws, putting it in a little bit more windows, has a little bit more zip to it. The arm strength isn't there. But he's playing well within the offense. They're maximizing his talents, and he's delivering, and he's playing well for a top 10 position.
About 13 quarterbacks you can put in this situation who'd be better at it.
For sure.
That's my point.
Damn, y'all do not like you some Tua talking about low.
Gino would be better.
Gino. I love Gino. And now
great.
I'm low-key becoming more of a Seahawks fan every week.
Gosh.
Come on over.
I'm not. See, I got some teams I really appreciate. So I got the Ravens, the Jets, a little bit of the Seahawks, but the Titans. I'm a Titans fan through and through. But there's teams I appreciate. The Jets had a great draft. Seahawks also had a great draft. Kenneth Walker. I am a Kenneth Walker stan. Amazing. Best top 5 running back right now in football.
Oh, whoa.
Top 5 right now.
People are like, why would you take a running back? I think we took him in the second round. People are like, why would you take a running back in the second round? It's not a premium position. Like, okay, but we see what he can do for the offense. We're scoring the 4th most points in the NFL.
Top 5?
Top 5 right now.
He might not be the best out of his class.
Stop. Oh, are you talking about Brees? I thought
Brees is nice.
I did say right now.
Else.
Okay, Brees not even playing right now. So what do you mean? I said right now.
So if we're talking right now,
even playing.
Saquon.
Go for it.
Derrick Henry.
Okay.
JT?
No, not right now.
No.
There's no way.
Okay, so he's better than JT. That's what you're telling me.
Right now.
This season, he's
right now.
No, I'm talking about right now.
Right now.
JT looked super explosive last game.
What are you asking me? You're asking me if I'm taking based on
Kamara,
this season.
Kamara.
Probably.
Kamara's been really good. McCaffrey. Mixon has been really good now. He just exploded.
Bro, Joe Mixon averaging 3 yards per carry. I'm not taking Joe Mixon over. He beat up on the bum-ass Panthers. I'm not taking Joe Mixon over.
Hey, we just beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
So you keep that. I just think it's crazy to say he's top 5
I understand. I understand that he's a rookie. He just got here. There's a lot of good running backs right now too, as well. But he's dynamic. He's different. Eckler. Get him out of here.
He's been good. He's been really
Get him out of here. So is Kenneth Walker. He's also been really good.
But Dameon Pierce has been really good. And Nas was about to jump my throat for saying that he might not be. Dameon Pierce has been really good.
I mean, Dameon Pierce is cool. He's not Ken Walker. He's going to get replaced next season. Come on. What are you talking about? And also, I just needed to double back because I felt like I didn't really do a great job defending Tua when y'all was talking about the uncatchable passes. Lord. So I had to get into my bag.
Didn't say anything about uncatchable passes.
Listen, Tua is number 1 in yards per attempt. He be airing that bitch out. He's number 2 in red zone completion percentage, number 8 in clean pocket completion percentage, number 2 in deep ball completion percentage, number 5 in true completion percentage, number 7 accuracy rating, number 2 true passer rating, number 1 QBR.
If you were throwing to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, you do the same thing. He's not damn good.
Yes,
he's not damn good. Bro, you can scheme. Naj, you could go out there and scheme that a pick play where Tyreek Hill is running to the flat and throw him a touchdown.
All right, bro.
Jalen Waddle's running across.
I'll say
Sam
this.
Ellinger was in Tua's spot. He's not putting up. He's not.
He's not better than Tua. Don't be disrespectful. I'm not being disrespectful.
Okay.
I'm just saying there's a lot of guys who could.
But you were saying I could scheme up. Anybody could do that. That's not anybody.
No, almost half of the NFL's quarterbacks could do that.
I don't know about half, but what was you going to say, Khalil?
I was just saying Tua. So you look at average intended air yards. He's 4. In the NFL, an average intended air yards. But you go to aggressiveness, looking at that, he's I can't tell you the ranking where he is, but he has 10% on that. So I think from what I am reading off these stats, he is throwing into some very open windows. Even into there is some tight windows he's throwing into. I've seen that, but he's also throwing into some very open windows and some very open receivers as well.
Bro, I'm not taking that away from him.
Taking
that away from him.
Naj, if I
You
put
still got to get
there,
the ball to them. You still got to get the ball to them. Don't be
Naj,
careful what you say, because
Naj,
I just said Sam Ellinger, and you said no.
Naj, if I stick you in the pocket with a clean pocket in 5 seconds to throw it to Tyreek Hill, you get the completion. I give my boy, you getting the completion. Tyreek Hill has an MVP case because of what he's done for Tua.
I mean, that's the perfect little segue into our next segment. Look at us. Look at us. We are like a well-oiled machine. We're going to go ahead and dive into our NFL midseason awards. For me, it wasn't really difficult because I did it. My FanDuel did our midseason awards. FanDuel's me. So what we tweeted out is what my midseason awards are. I changed up a couple of them because it was like 2 weeks ago, but it is what it is. So I guess we could start with, we're going to, build some suspense, bury the lead a little bit. Who's y'all coach of the year?
Pete Carroll.
Ooh, don't. You talking real spicy to me, Justice.
Pete Carroll. I think that if somebody had told us that the Seahawks weren't going to be taking Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, we would have called them crazy.
I agree. I thought that was the goal for the season. I thought we should be starting Drew Lock. I'll come out and say that I'm wrong.
No, me
too.
I
said that too. Yeah, I said that too.
So for you to be at this point at this season with Geno Smith as your starting quarterback, and for Geno to make a spot on all of our top 10 list, almost in the top half of it, I think you have to warrant consideration of this. And I think that Pete Carroll has taken a lot of blame over the years.
I've given him quite a lot of blame.
Let Russ cook, blah, 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 blah. But I mean, Geno that offense looks what? Not you're the Seahawks fan. You probably watch every game. I haven't watched every game. I think I watched the Seahawks 4 times this year. You think that offense looks better this year than it did last year?
Yes.
Me too. And I think if you're able to scheme,
our offense looked horrible last year
behind a career backup and play this well, you deserve coach of the year.
Naj, I have a question for you.
Talk to me.
So they're probably going to have a top 10 pick. Let's just say that, right?
Damn right. Damn skip.
Yeah. They everyone's saying they fleeced the Broncos, and
we did.
What should they do with that top 10 draft position? Let's say a quarterback is there. What should they do?
I highly doubt Bryce or CJ will be there. So we're probably looking at like a Will Levis kind of guy.
Right.
Would I take
he might be going top 2.
He might be going 2, which is what I'm saying. So
would they trade up for a quarterback? Because they've got the capital at this
I don't
point.
think so. I don't think we would trade up for a quarterback. I don't know. I don't think we would take, like, Will Anderson will definitely be gone. I don't think we would take another piece of our line. I think we would take a pass rusher. I think we would definitely, whoever the best pass rusher on the board is at that 10 pick, I think that's what we would take, just knowing Pete Carroll and John Schneider and what they like to do. But I don't think we would take QB because I think we figured we could figure out the position, especially after having this little Geno Smith experiment work. I think that we would feel like we would be able to figure out the position and not take a QB. I don't think we take receiver. I don't think we would take tight end. I don't think we would take another offensive lineman. I don't think we would take corner. I don't think we would take safety, maybe a linebacker. But but
Jordan Brooks,
Jordan Brooks
is good.
Jordan Brooks is good. So I think we would take a D, like a pass rusher is what I would say.
And even then, Nwosu has been really good as well for the Seahawks too. So
Darryl Taylor,
he's popping off. So it's just, they really need some more elite talent, like a guy who's going to be a superstar. So they need to hit in some area, especially on the defense. But they drafted well, offensive line, even then gotten some sneaky guys in there too. So I was just wondering. I don't know. Do you trade it for a quarterback? Do you draft a quarterback? Do you stick it out with Geno Smith, extend him? Whatever.
I think we would stick it out with Geno and extend him, to be completely honest. Also, I think me and Justin talked about it last time, but I really don't hear many people talk about the Seahawks as like real contenders. And I understand it, but I think we can make noise in the playoffs. If the playoffs started right now, we'd be the 3 seed. We're winning the NFC West. And when you look at our team, we have a competent quarterback. We have a great run game. We have a good line. We have 2 super dynamic receivers. We have decent tight end play. We have a decent D-line. Our defense has looked really good over the past 3 weeks. We have taken really good strides. We have a dominant guy in Tariq Woolen. Kobe Bryant makes his little plays every now and then. Ryan Neal has come on for us recently. I wish we had Jamal Adams, but whatever. He's not going to be back. But we're good in the safety positions. And so it's what part of, we have good linebacker play. Cody Barton plays well every now and then, but Jordan Brooks looks pretty good. And so I feel like we're pretty good at almost every single position group. And I feel like we can make noise. Am I saying we're going to win the Super Bowl? No. But could we win could we make a NFC chip run? I really believe we could.
Well, that conference is so bad that it's just whoever.
People just people take the Niners over us. And I get it. The Niners, cool. They have CMC, Kyle Shanahan's an offensive genius. They have Debo, Ayuk, Nick Bosa, all of that, George Kittle. But
if they're healthy though.
If they're healthy,
if the Niners are healthy, they're better.
Which is it's a projection.
I don't know if that's a crazy, I don't know if that's an easy thing to say.
They're going to give
people.
They're going to give people problems. Let's say that for sure. They're going to give people problems. They've done it all season right now. They're going to do it once they get to the playoffs. If they get to the playoffs, so I'm close to being on board with you. I think I'm close. Let's say I'm close.
I like that. Also, I tweeted out the Justin Fields thing 8 minutes ago. Already got 17 replies. False, true, false, false, false. Lord, I hope so. Top 10 in his division is crazy. And yeah, that's all of the things. So Justin Fields top 10. Khalil, who's your coach of the year, bro?
Oh crap! I went with Sirianni.
That was my coach of the year when I did the FanDuel, Midseason Awards. I've changed since then, but
that's fair. I think it's harder than it was last year. It's definitely hard right now. You got a bunch of guys. Dayball, Pete Carroll, of course. You got Sirianni doing great. Mike Vrabel's doing great again. Kevin O'Connell. There's a lot of really good candidates, and they're doing very well for their teams. I just think you got to go with the undefeated guy right now. Eagles are playing great. They have a great system, put their quarterback in a great system. The defense is popping too, have a lot of great talent on both sides of the ball, and they're just coached very well too. I think there's a little bit more they can do on the offensive side, but other than that, they're good.
No, I 1,000% agree. Nick Sirianni was my pick last week, and then I ended up changing it. And it's crazy that all three of us have different Coach of the Year votes. So mine's is Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh. Yeah, Jets head coach. I just feel like when you look at the expectations for the Jets coming into the season, nobody in their right mind thought that they would be any semblance of competent. And that defense looks great. Obviously, Sauce Gardner is, whatever people like to say he's overrated. I think he's damn good. I love me some Sauce Gardner. DJ Reed, prior Seahawk, was the Seahawks last year. We let him walk. Still super fucking good. So DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner lock things up in the secondary. Zach Wilson, I'm not going to talk about Zach Wilson, but he does his thing. He does things sometimes. Garrett Wilson, between him, Chris Olave, Drake London, this wide receiver class is insane. But Garrett Wilson is my favorite of that class. He looks great. The Elijah Moore thing, it's tough. Y'all know Elijah Moore was my guy. Elijah Moore was my guy. I think they should trade him.
It's looking rough.
Looks bad. He's getting out targeted by Jeff Smith and shit like that. But whatever. They're 6-3. They just beat the Bills. They're like a game back of winning the AFC East. And I just think that they've surpassed expectations so incredible, by so large of a margin that he ends up being my coach of the year. Just because, when you think about the Jets, you think failure. And this season, that's not the case. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it's him.
People pissed me off last year because they went after Robert Saleh. He had the worst. He had the worst defense in football, but they left all sorts of context out of the equation. Context is everything. Context is everything in football. And he had a bunch of injuries on both sides of the ball, especially last year. So yes, he's a defensive coach, but if he doesn't have his personnel, what do you really want him to do in that situation when his safeties are gone, corners are gone, defensive line, what do you want him to do in that situation? But right now, the personnel is coming along. He has the corners. Sauce Gardner's already getting elite cornerback calls from the referees. Like he's a little bit grabby, but he's really good. Like he's a top corner already in football. Reed is awesome. Quentin Williams is killing on the defensive side. Like he has a personnel.
He's doing it. Quentin Williams is having a low-key great season.
So he has a little bit more of the personnel in place to be that defensive coach that that people thought he was going to be. So I just hate that people took context out of it last year when they were saying he needed to get fired after the first season, or like challenging him and saying his defense wasn't good enough.
Boom. And so we all ended up having 3 different candidates. I don't think it'll be like that for a lot of the rest of these, but I'm glad that it is like that. We have some, diversity in our picks. Who was your pick, Justice? Dable?
No, Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. I'm shocked that no one picked Brian Dable because I feel like he's the favorite. But here we are.
He's number 2 for me for sure.
Yeah, he's number 2 for me too. Given hot takes, I guess you go to comeback player of the year. For me, this Mr. Saquon Barkley. It was between him and Geno Smith. For me, it's Saquon Barkley. I just feel like, and it's y'all know, we've talked about this ad nauseum. Even on this episode, I'm a Seahawks fan. Geno Smith has been, for me, one of the stories of the season. And I think this award, more than most, like narrative and like storyline, comes into play. And so Geno Smith is a great storyline, career backup, comes in, Russell Wilson produces a top 4 offense, boom, wins the Seahawks trade, might be Super Bowl contenders, whatever. But like Saquon, the storyline, I just
slide that in there. Yeah.
That in there. But like Saquon went from being, if not the best back in football, one of the best backs in football.
He was the best.
Tears his ACL, comes back, rips his ankle in half, comes back again, ankle done again. And so like to deal with that, come back and be like, come right back and not miss a beat and continue to be the best back in football right now, in my opinion. Like that's something to be said about that, and it's not like he's not a big part of this Giants success this season. I would say he's the biggest part of the Giants success this season. And like his dominance has just been so, like, he's single-handedly won them games this year. And so, I feel like he's just been absolutely insane. And to come back and face the adversity he faced and not miss a beat, Saquon ends up being my comeback player.
He's the reason they beat the Titans week 1. I remember it very well.
They didn't beat the Seahawks though, but they did beat the Titans. What about you? Oh wait, so what about you, Justice?
Yeah, my comeback player of the year is Baker Mayfield.
You're lying.
No, my comeback.
You kept a good straight face though. I was like, is he dead ass?
No, my comeback player of the year is Geno. Saquon's very well deserving, and whoever it went to, I'd be fine. It's definitely a 2-man race.
Yeah, I feel like it's awesome. I'm down for either one.
Yeah, I think that I just feel like the quarterback position usually gets the nod in a lot of award races. And what Geno's done for when he get drafted, how long has he been in the NFL? 9 years now?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's for him to just be basically irrelevant his whole career and then pop out with this is a little more impressive to me.
In 2013.
Okay, so it's a little bit more impressive to me than Saquon, who we knew was elite but just had to come back from the injury. I think that Geno's had an uphill battle his whole career at this point, so I would side with that. I think I was a betting man that Saquon would still be really good, and I believe that you two were as well. So
yeah, we didn't really talk. We talked a lot of fantasy this season, but just taking what we said in fantasy and applying it to real NFL, we had Saquon all as like a top 3, top 4 back. So we were all in on the Saquon train. Khalil, who's your comeback player of the year, bro?
So it's gonna be a tight finish for Geno and Saquon, just like I said. But I'm going with Geno. I think both have the narratives. Saquon, obviously, I feel like he needs to get something. I don't think he'll end up with anything as far as an award goes. It feels like he needs to get something because he is the driving force of that offense, like you said, Naj. Like they're not winning up all these games.
They have no receivers. Richie James. No, like
I sent a crazy stat to the group message in Twitter, Justice, about they didn't have any receivers over 200 or 300 yards through so many weeks of football. And then you got Saquon, who's at like 2 or 3 for them as well. So it's just like he needs to get something. He's a driving force. It's Dayball, it's Saquon, Dayball, and then Daniel Jones as far as like why they're winning games, I think. But Geno just has a great story. Comeback player of the year. I actually tweeted this earlier out too. Like he has to can he get comeback player of the year? Like I know a lot of people responded to it and they said, well, it's usually, designated for those injury type of guys, but we've never really seen a story like this with Geno and being in the situation he is, being a second round pick. I think going to the Jets and just not panning out in those 2 years and, getting shipped out as a career backup and now being where he is and playing the elite level of ball. So if they make the playoffs, if he continues to do well, I think he'll edge out Saquon in those regards.
For sure. I'm happy if either one. Hey, if Saquon wins it, I'm happy. If Geno wins it, we get an award coming to Seattle. So I'm happy either way. Defensive rookie of the year, I feel like we're going to knock this one out pretty quick. It's Sauce Gardner.
Yep.
Khalil, do you agree?
Wait, what? You're actually going Sauce?
Yeah.
Oh, for real? Can I ask why? Actually, I don't want to know.
Wait, are you? I was not prepared to defend the take. I thought it was an easy.
It's not like I'm disagreeing necessarily. I really just want to know. I genuinely want to know why Sauce Gardner.
This kid. Wait, no. Who did you?
He's the anchor of one of the better defensive units in football right now.
I think he's their secondary. I think 7. Wait, did they have their bye yet? Whatever. 8 or 9 games into the season, he looks like a top 5 corner of the NFL.
Wait, what award is this?
Defensive rookie of the year.
Oh crap! I'm sorry, I heard something else.
You heard DPOY?
I heard DPOY.
You got me fucked up. I'm like, who else is he gonna say?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
like, hey, if Tariq Woolen, like, what are we doing?
You can start the question over all over again. We can just
nah, I'm leaving that in because it's
keep it in. That's fine. So keep it in there. I was so confused. I was gonna hear it out though. I'm gonna hear it out.
Nah, my DPOY. Maybe we have the same DPOY. I don't know. I feel
everybody has the same DPOY.
All right, good. All right, cool.
But defensive rookie of the year, you can say you can make an argument for Woolen in a sense. The interceptions are there as well too. But I'm gonna go with Sauce Gardner.
All right. After making us look like idiot, I was really confused.
That's my fault. I'm
like, yo, am I missing something? Like, is he not the runaway favorite? I didn't even bring no stats to the table. I'm like, it's Sauce Gardner. But
I'm with you.
Offensive rookie of the year. For me, it's Ken Walker. It was Breece Hall. I think he would have run away with it, but unfortunately, tore his ACL, tragic. And so for me, it is Mr. Ken Walker. I think this is a very talented rookie class. Could end up being one of the more talented classes we've seen in the past decade. Where you have Chris Olave. I don't think Drake London's in the running, but Garrett Wilson, Dameon Pierce. Oh, great. Dameon Pierce, Breece Hall. And it sounds like I hate Dameon Pierce. I swear. Ken Walker.
It's like that one guy who's been going viral for calling him a tryhard. Like,
that was insane.
Bro, that's the worst take. It's Justin, the guy that
I was about to say.
All,
do you understand who that is?
So who's that?
He was lined up to come on this podcast, and I heard that, and I was like, I'm good, bro. Like I was like, I'm just not going to ask him again because that's brutal. Like that's such a brutal take. Like I can't even fathom it.
How dare you? I quoted that tweet. And I'm like, this hurts to watch so much. And I said the guy. What's his name?
Justin Henry.
He's trying hard. He's trying too hard himself just with that take. I don't know what kind of take that is. A running back trying too hard to get
it's crazy.
yards.
It's a crazy take. It's a crazy take.
Like what?
He fights for yards.
I think he was trying to go somewhere else with the take, but the way that it came out.
It's like he's calling him corny for trying to break tackles and get yards.
When I saw it, I was like, is that Justin? Because we had just talked about Justice has just hit me like, yo, should we try and get Justin on the pod? Because he used to work for FanDuel shit. So like we've talked before. And so I was like, yeah, who cares? Like, yeah, he does fantasy stuff. We get him over fantasy. And then I saw you quote tweet that after the Brett Coleman guy had quote tweeted it. And I was like, I know Justin's mentions is booming right now. That's a crazy take. But yeah, I do not think Dameon Pierce is a tryhard. I just think Ken Walker is better. And so for me, Ken Walker is my offensive rookie of the year.
Okay, let me clarify. Ken Walker is better, but we're putting together a full season of stats usually. I think Dameon Pierce probably edges him out in just about every category at this point.
I mean, he does have like 50, 30, I think like 40 more carries because we were splitting with Rashad Penny.
So. Right. I'm sorry that he couldn't win the role over.
Well, I think
Penny.
it was politics. You feel me? You know how that.
Yeah,
goes.
I got you. Okay, yeah. No, I think it has to go to Dameon Pierce. I think Brees was literally just absolutely sprinting to the finish line.
Yeah,
with
he
it.
was
Like,
going to
it
run
wasn't
away
even
with
be
it.
close. And then truly, I know Kenneth Walker is better than Dameon Pierce, but just for the award's sake, I do think Dameon Pierce gets it because he's still going to keep getting 25 carries a game.
So is Ken Walker. I think Ken Walker might. I don't want to say.
Yeah, but he's getting a 3-game too late start. So
listen, Ken Walker has 5 yards per carry, and Dameon Pierce is 4.6. Just the more efficient back.
Dameon Pierce has the most yards after contact in the NFL. So
all I'm saying is that
Ken Walker is at 570 right now. Dameon Pierce is at 678. Dameon Pierce has 3 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker has 7 touchdowns.
What are we talking about, bro? Ken Walker's the best. He's offensive rookie of the year. I can't wait. I would say that he finishes with more rushing yards than Dameon Pierce.
God, he's gonna come back from a 100-yard hole here.
I wouldn't put
knowing that their volume is pretty equal.
Like, man, it's possible.
I wouldn't put it past him.
He's also on the much better offense. So, like, what's the bright spot of the Texans' offense besides Dameon Pierce at this point?
That's it. I would agree.
I'm
not taking anything from you. But
okay,
Ken Walker.
You got hate in your heart for Dameon Pierce. For
I don't.
I don't know. I don't understand it. Like, what did he do to you?
I don't have hate in my heart. I just want Ken Walker to win it.
You sound like me talking about Tua.
Yeah, good thing we don't have a Dameon Pierce anon. So, Khalil, who's your offensive rookie of the year, bro?
Oh, Kenneth Walker for sure. I love that. I love Dameon Pierce, but Kenneth Walker is just freaking blown it out of the water for me. He's amazed me, like watching him, seeing what he does, and he has a lot to his game. I think like shades of McCoy's in there, Shady McCoy, shades of Nick Chubb. He just has a lot to his game. He needs to improve in the receiving game. He needs to improve in the pass pro. But I like where Kenneth Walker's going, and I think he can continue to be a top back in the NFL for a long time.
Brees is the only one of the 3 who really has both sides of offense, correct? Like legit receiving and
Brees
legit running.
Easily the best back in the class. I think Brees is pretty special. And yeah, Ken Walker is my guy. Like, I don't think you find too many Breeses,
I think Khalil leans Kenneth, though.
Yeah, I think Kenneth is also special. A special runner. I think he could be the best runner in football.
I'll say that. Way you talking. I like the way you talking. I also think there's a lot of good running backs in this upcoming draft class. We're not going to get into it too much, but I like a lot of the running backs. My son Bijan. I think these next three we're about to go through: offensive, OPOY, DPOY, and MVP. We're gonna have a sweet same 3. OPOY, I have Tyreek Hill on pace to be a 2,000-yard receiver. He looks like the best receiver in football. He's putting up numbers on a weekly basis consistently. You know what's coming, and it does not matter, no matter who's in front of him. And so, OPOY. When you're about to have a record-breaking season, I feel like you're a lot.
Fresh off a Cooper Kupp record-breaking season, but it's just like I love where we are in football, dude, because it can just happen all the time. The way we throw the ball, receivers can break records every year if they want to.
And the offenses are playing so weird. Sorry about that. Offense are just playing so weird right now too. So yeah, go ahead.
Tyreek should win unanimously. Actually, this is the point that I'm at. So
I wonder who would be second in voting.
I mean, I think you could probably make an argument for Saquon.
Like Derrick Henry, maybe.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's been phenomenal the last 5 weeks, 4 weeks.
He's getting a lot of carries, and the yards per carry aren't always there, but he's
y'all don't even pass the ball. I respect that out of you.
Yeah,
not even to pass the ball.
Did you watch the Texans game, man? It was hilarious to watch. There's nothing they could do.
There's nothing. You can't.
I think they passed the ball one time in the second half.
Saquon's about to do them so bad this week, bro.
I tweeted this. I'll never understand y'all not paying AJ Brown. Like, I understand that maybe you felt like you could draft Treylon Burks, and maybe you did. Maybe we haven't really seen Treylon Burks, so maybe he is that level of receiver. But like, damn, when you look at
start shaking that mic, bro, you know he's upset.
Like, they gave AJ Brown was such like the Deontay Debo type of deal, and y'all were just like, nah, fuck it, we not paying it. Well, that's kind of crazy.
Stop mocking me.
So he start doing this with the mic.
No, I don't know what to think about it. I try to make light of it whenever it happened. I love Traylon Burks a lot as well. He just hasn't been healthy. He wasn't that healthy in camp. Came first initially out of shape, just wasn't expecting, and that happens for rookies all the time. But also went through some hamstring, some ankle stuff. I don't remember about the hamstring, but definitely ankle stuff and now turf toe. So we just can't. We don't know what Burks really looks like. Really competing and being out there as a number 1, number 2 target, but you just can't replace AJ right now and what he brought to the offense.
Who's your
receiver in that
OPOY?
class?
Second best receiver in this class?
No, that class.
You got Terry at first and 1, right? You still got Terry at 1?
I'll put Terry at 1 till the day I die.
I was like, I'm not taking Traylon Burks over Olave or Garrett Wilson. All right, so you have Tyreek Hill, right?
Yes.
Right,
And I ain't got to say nothing about it.
DPOY should be just as
Micah
easy.
Micah Parsons. Sweet. Cool. There we
Yeah.
go.
Should have gotten it last year. I don't care what anyone says.
I agree.
Yeah. Shout out to Matthew Judon leading the NFL in sacks, but no, you're just not.
For sure.
You're not getting it from Micah Parsons. And then MVP, I had Josh Allen up until probably week 6. And then he just started playing like 2018, 2019 Josh Allen, throwing the ball away. That pick versus the Jets in the first quarter was egregious. Like,
it was rough.
What were you doing? Where was it going? He just started throwing it away. He costed the MVP. I really had him winning it, and he costed it. Then they lost the game. I was like, all right, whatever. You're done.
And now he might be hurt.
And now he might be hurt. It's over. Jalen, he's not winning MVP. Jalen, it's a 2-man race at this point for me. It's either Mr. Hurts or Mr. Mahomes. And for me, it's Mr. Mahomes. So I think when you're putting up numbers like that, you lead the NFL in passing touchdowns. You're not throwing many picks. Who do you have out there? Juju, I guess, Juju's talented, whatever, 25 years old, still has a long career ahead of him. But outside of that, you got Nicole Hardman and MVS, and you're leading league in passing touchdowns. And you got Travis Kelce. I'm not gonna tell you what you have. Travis Kelce.
We go.
But yeah, I think everyone kind of expected the Chiefs to take a step back on the offensive end, and they average the most points in the NFL. So it's like that's crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that Mr. Patrick Mahomes is my MVP. They're the only team in the NFL that average 30 points per game. And they lost a guy that's about to go for 2,000 yards. So,
and they're still the best offensive football. If that doesn't speak to Patrick Mahomes for you all, I don't know what will. And how good and Josh Allen is phenomenal. His arm talent is crazy. Mahomes is still a tier above Josh Allen. And I'll take that to my grave.
I think Mahomes is probably the best player in football right now.
Yeah, he is.
I think Mahomes is the best player in football.
I think he has been for how long though?
Probably about the last 3.
Yeah, Aaron Donald is right there, different side of the ball.
Yeah.
But also, by the way, let's touch on Micah Parsons real quick. He might win Defensive Player of the Year for the next 6 years.
Yeah, he's a tank.
Give it to him.
He's an absolute tank.
MVP, I'm to me, it's Patrick Mahomes purely off of what's surrounding him offensively. But if they don't lose more than one game, I don't see how they don't give it to him.
Yeah, that should be stated. If the Eagles go undefeated, he wins MVP. If they
he has to.
If they lose one game, he wins MVP. But granted, how many games did the Chiefs lost? 2?
Yeah.
So it's not like
but the Chiefs just throw a random shitter out there once every 4 weeks.
But also the Colts, Bills.
And that's it, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think there's the difference between going undefeated. If you go undefeated and the Chiefs lose 2 games, that's a massive difference. But if the Eagles lose 1 game and the Chiefs lose 2 games, I don't think that's that crazy of a deal. I agree. I think there's a pretty big discrepancy there. So if the Eagles go undefeated, I think there's no one that takes it away from. And Pat Mahomes would have to throw for 65 touchdowns. So do something crazy.
They'll just be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But my pick would be Mahomes. I think he is the most valuable player. But if the Eagles are undefeated or lose 1 game, it's going to go to Jalen Hurts, and which would make me probably the happiest person on the planet. The only thing that would make me happier is if Justin Fields won MVP. So
hey, don't count him out for next year. They gotta give him some weapons. They got a lot of cap space. I don't think there's no good receivers on the market this year.
No, they need to get as many offensive linemen as they possibly can and just hope
no
it
good
works
receivers on the market this year. So they're gonna have to address that in the draft. Get my son Jackson Smith and Jigba or something. But get him another weapon. And so yeah, who's your MVP, Khalil?
Mahomes by a long shot. Yeah, it's by a long shot. Played, I think, what is on the cusp of being an elite defense in the Titans last week. And we saw, I think, sprinkles of it earlier in the season. Not earlier, but like decently earlier in the season. But we've seen it a lot more recently, how much that offense has missed Tyreek just a little bit. But the fact that he is doing what he's doing, did what he did against the Titans, 400 yards of passing against that defense. And the offensive line hasn't always been there as well. Orlando Brown hasn't been there, and he could have gotten paid big time this summer, but he just lost a huge check after that. But Patrick Mahomes is just on another level right now, carrying that offense and being the driving force that they need to be 6-2 right now, like they are.
Boom. So we got the little sweep. I think we had the same answers on a lot of them, a nice little consensus from us, but we had some differences as well. That's what you love to hear. And so that, I think, puts an end to our NFL talk for the week. We went over top 10 QBs, went over NFL Midseason Awards. We're about to hop on over to the NBA train. And so there's no better way to start than with the most disgraceful team in all of basketball. There's no better way to start than with the most pathetic team in all of basketball, the Los Angeles Lakers. We talked about them last week. I've never been more frustrated with a situation and a team than I am with it. And I thought last year's team was my most hated Lakers team. This team, this situation, I just despise. I've never thought about like leaving my Lakers fandom, and I still am not. But like, if this is testing me, bro, like to be a fan of a team that refuses to do anything to get better is insane. And so we're gonna talk.
Hey, we got an eye on Bradley Beal.
Like, are you? Don't get me started, bro. Like, of course, every team in the NFL, they said they covet Bradley Beal. Like, yeah, I'm sure we covet Giannis. Like, you know, like you covet every good NBA player. There's no chance in hell you're getting Bradley Beal. And even if you did, they're like, we're going to try and trade for KD. Now, if KD goes back on the trade market, what in God's name makes you think that you would win the KD sweepstakes? Like,
okay, this is the interesting part, and this is why I tweeted you back. If Rudy Gobert warrants basically at the end of the day 6 total first round picks, we can at least get 4 of them things for Anthony Davis.
Okay, right.
So if we get 4 of those and we got 2 more picks,
and
we say we've got rid of Anthony Davis. Say we get back Cam Reddish and Julius Randle.
I need RJ.
Which I think is
if we're trading with the Knicks, I need some RJ.
I don't. I need somebody. I need somebody who's going to match my salary to go get Kevin Durant if that's the goal.
So you trying to trade AD and keep contending?
Yes. That is my goal.
Oh, that's where our disconnect comes.
Okay, okay, let me get this straight. If we're trading AD and we're keeping LeBron, we have to keep trying to contend.
And that's why. All right, go ahead.
So if we're saying we're going to rebuild, then just trade both of them and say the hell with that. Because you're going to get both of them, because you're going to get 12 first round picks in total for the both of them. You really will.
I think there's this misconception. Like, I'm fine with trading the picks. I have no problem with trading the picks or trading for the, like, regardless. I'll get to the AD thing in a second, but like, there's this misconception that like, if the Lakers trade their picks, we have no picks for the next decade. That's just the furthest thing from the truth. We pick in the first round this year. We pick in the first round either in 2024 or in 2025. The Pelicans can take one. They can't take both. So if they take next year's pick, we pick in 2025. And then we can trade that 2025 pick once we draft. Like, that pick can be traded, you know, or next year's pick can be traded once the Pelicans make their decision. We pick in 2026, we pick in 2027, we pick in 2028.
Yeah, I don't understand people's logic whenever they're reading
those picks. And even though because of the Stepien rule, we can't trade first round picks in back-to-back years. Once those picks become available, like we'd be able to trade them after the fact, you know, like we could draft someone in 2026 and agree to trade that player to the team like that can we can't trade the pick itself, but if the fucking Jazz say, hey, we want Bronny James, we can take Bronny James and trade him after. Like, come on, like there's workarounds to that. So I could not care less about trading the picks, to be honest, because in 2029, if we're bad, we will have the 2030, 2031, 2032, we'll have all of those picks by then. So like to trade the picks is not a big deal for me. Get me Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. I don't care at this point. I'm tired of us. I do not want to be 2-10. If we're bro.
Why didn't you like that, Justice? Why don't you like that package?
Because that doesn't do anything for us. We're not.
We're giving the Pelicans Victor Wembanyama right now.
I don't care what the Pelicans are getting.
Like I refuse to do that.
Why? What's the baby Lakers?
Bro, you're getting anything if you remain in this state of basketball that's being played. Like. You're not getting anything, and you're giving the Pelicans so much more.
Bro,
what do we do?
My point is trading Anthony Davis, and then you're throwing together a package for a legitimate superstar. Because I can tell you, there's no 1-for-1 swaps that are happening with Anthony Davis.
No, not at all.
You're getting worse players. No, you're keeping the 2 picks. You're getting worse players and draft capital. If Rudy Gobert warrants 6 picks, Anthony Davis should technically warrant 6 picks.
If Rudy Gobert warrants 6, Anthony Davis should warrant 12.
But the thing is, you're nervous about it. People have to be nervous about Davis though trading for him, right?
It doesn't matter. You take a shot.
But also,
I
think
the Knicks are desperate. They have always
in the right situation. You take a shot, but if you think the Knicks actually take a shot, they didn't take a shot on Donovan Mitchell. I know that part.
If he's available, if Anthony Davis is available. They want nothing to do with Julius Randle. They hate Julius Randle. We give you Julius Randle, Cam Reddish, and 4 picks. We call the Nets when KD inevitably says trade me at the end of this season because this shit is hit. They're done. I don't care how early it is in the season. That team is done. They are cooked. They are terrible. Okay. So when you hit that point, and when KD inevitably requests a trade, here it is: Julius Randle to fill your salary back. We will give you our 2 picks we had, the 4 picks the Knicks traded us because they're sorry and they're going to rely on Jalen Brunson and Anthony Davis for the next 4 years. and then you can have Cam Reddish if you want him to and give us Kevin Durant and we'll worry about the rest of it. You give me LeBron and Kevin Durant and we worry about the rest of it, we'll be fine.
That's
the point.
That's so old.
That's what we thought about LeBron and Anthony Davis.
No, that's not true. That's a contention move. That's a contention move. That's a contention move. That's what I'm saying. If we're going to contend, if we're not going to contend, trade Anthony Davis, trade LeBron James. Get your 12 total first-round picks. If you want to chase somebody, chase them. I'd rather you didn't. Just sit there until
I think we have 3 different tabs open right now, and I want to address every single one of them. So I think trading Anthony Davis is in fairy tale land. Like that's not going to happen this season. So the tab that I want to close first is
that could be the offseason though.
How do you the Lakers are 2-9? If you're Rob Pelinka, which I would never wish on you, if you're Rob Pelinka, what do you do as GM of the Lakers this season?
Resign.
Okay, not an option. So you stand pat because you don't want to trade the picks for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner.
I'm not worried about the picks. Pat. I'm not worried about the picks. Buddy Hield and Miles Turner make us They
make us a 6 seed.
A 6 seed?
They make us a 6 or 7 seed.
No.
Well, Miles is on expiring right now, right?
We're a play-in team.
Yeah, he's on expiring.
And then Buddy Hill's locked in for like 2 more years or something like that.
We're a play-in team. But Buddy Hill can't shoot enough threes to get us out of the hole we are as a shooting team. We are the worst offense in basketball.
I said that last time. I agree. He's not going to make us an average shooting team. No. But I just feel like to waste another season is just not an how do we do that? How do we come into this season with a year 20 LeBron, an AD that's about to be 30 next year, and say, you know what? We're 2-9. We're not even going to try to address it. Waste the season. It's not like we have our fucking pick. We have the Pelicans pick. Now, if the Pelicans end up being ass, maybe we both get top 10 picks, but I don't think that's going to happen. So
unless Zion's knee explodes again, which I wouldn't wish on them. So I love Zion, so I'm not going to wish that for him. No. So my point is, it's just there's nothing we can do to make us contenders. There's nothing we can do.
Okay.
So what's the point, Ganache, of trading the picks?
Okay, so we close that tab. The next tab is trading Anthony Davis. Now, you believe that we can trade Anthony Davis and contend. I believe
not this year.
Yeah. I believe that if we trade AD, that's our window. It's gone. Like, I believe if we trade AD, we might as well get LeBron up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's him. That's how I look at it. Like, if I'm trading Anthony Davis, I'm closing the window on.
Does LeBron have a no trade clause?
I mean, like, not technically, but I feel like technically, like he's LeBron, you know, like, no, he's not gonna get traded. He's LeBron on the biggest franchise in basketball, you know, like there's something to be said about that. So if I trade Anthony Davis, I'm trading LeBron with him, not in the same package, but like he's gone next.
Okay, what's the best situation then?
Hold on. So LeBron doesn't have a no trade clause, but he's got a 15% trade kicker. So so his salary that we hurt back is 15% more of LeBron James and his salary now. We can't even afford to trade him.
So that's done. What were you about to say, Khalil?
I was asking what the best situation is because a part of me feels like it's trading AD in some type of capacity.
Best situation is fire Rob Pelinka.
Okay, yes, but within what we're talking about, trading, not trading, you know, do you patiently wait? I don't know, trading those 2 picks, trading Russ, I don't know.
Best situation is, I think most likely situation is we do not make the playoffs again, and we get the Pelicans pick. We try and trade it in the offseason around the draft. I think we do not end up trading it. And I think we sign Kyrie. And even though the Lakers say they don't want to sign Kyrie, I think that's easy to say right now. LeBron's already coming out and defending him. I think that's easy to say right now. Listen, man, the Browns gave Deshaun Watson an insane contract. He did crazy shit too. And it is what it is. That's just how teams do what they need to win when it comes to shit like that. And so come August or come July, I don't think the Lakers gonna have a problem giving Kyrie Irving a contract. As crazy as that is, I think
he's locked in. He's a locked in Laker.
I think that's the most likely scenario. And we run it back next year with another shitty roster, but instead we have Kyrie. Because at this point, I don't trust Rob Pelinka's ability to build a competent roster. So I say, and also when we have 3 stars, we continuously have to sign people to vet mins. And like, you're not going to get competent players with vet mins. Like, you're just not. That's why they are on better minimum contracts.
I still want to know what Carmelo Anthony was asking for. Why is he not playing basketball? And why is he not in the Lakers? That's how desperate I am. That I would take Carmelo Anthony shooting corner threes. But whatever.
Need it.
I would take Melo too. And so Bleach Report put together these Anthony Davis trade packages. There's 4 of them. And so
they're usually not good.
Bleach Report has no interest in making competent trade packages, but you know what? I'm going to say them and you tell me if you take it. So the first one is with the Brooklyn Nets. The trade is, and I sound so exhausted talking about this because
this is exhausting.
I care so much about the Lakers. And so to just throw away a season hurts. It really does. But the trade is, this is Justice's dream. The Lakers receive Kevin Durant in exchange for Anthony Davis and a 2029 first round pick.
The Nets would never do that.
The Nets would never do that. One. Why would they do that? One. You can get
That's
so
all
much.
There is.
I feel like you can get more for KD than that. But would you take that if you were the Lakers?
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
I would take it too, but that's not happening. So on to the next.
Would you take that if you were the Nets?
No.
How quickly would you hang up if the Lakers called you?
Anthony Davis and come on. Like when I have other teams on the line offering me 5 picks and a young player, why would I take AD and 1 pick?
Yeah, they know they need. Kevin Durant warrants 6 to 8 picks. It just is what it is.
Which is crazy. But okay, Khalil, would you take that, bro?
If I'm the Lakers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Damn right you would. The next one is with the Bulls, which I actually
real quick. Hold on. Sorry. Can I interrupt you real quick?
Of course.
I thought about this yesterday because I was thinking about these trades. What does a fourth quarter look like with LeBron and KD?
I don't know a whole lot.
Who's even getting the ball?
A whole lot of LeBron ball handling. I feel like KD would have to take the L on that one. He's more competent off ball than LeBron is. So
KD standing in the corner while
LeBron is doing the pullback,
yanking back
and shit. Yeah. The Bulls trade, the Lakers get Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Goran Dragic, and Portland's 2023 first. And the Blazers look damn good. So that's probably going to be a mid to high, to low pick. And so we get Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Goran Dragic, and the Blazers first for AD. Do you take that, Justice? That was the one that intrigued me the most.
Yes, I would take that. But secondly, they wouldn't.
No, not a shot. No shot.
What does that do for you? Okay, you pair DeMar DeRozan and AD, like,
and Vukovic. But there's no AD trade to Chicago
Great
that doesn't
job.
include Vukovic, which means there's no AD trade that includes LaVine.
Exactly.
Watching that Bulls team, by the way, when I went to the Celtics game, made me nervous about my Bulls take, by the way.
What was your Bulls take?
I think like a top 6 seed, or it could be a top 6 seed or something along those lines. When Rivers on, it just makes me nervous. Of course, a 46 piece from DeMar, but Zach LaVine might as well have not been on the floor at that point. Didn't drive to the rim until the fourth quarter. It was just a really weird team to watch.
He's the most frustrating player to watch in basketball.
It was awful. I was so upset.
That's not true. Russell Westbrook. Actually, Anthony Davis is. But
yeah, I mean, we just don't give him the ball in the second half. Whatever, bro. The next trade from VR is the Knicks. It's the Lakers get RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, 2023 first, 2023 first round pick, a 2025 first round pick, and another 2023 first round pick. So 2 2023 first, a 2025, Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett. And they get Anthony Davis.
No, I'm taking that.
I would take that easy.
That's a haul.
Let me just tell you, that's the most realistic of the three, though.
I would take that if I. But like, would the Knicks really do that? Like, do they really feel like, oh yeah, Julius Randle, Anthony Davis, and Jalen Brunson, we're gonna make fucking noise.
Emmanuel quickly, like
yeah, like we're gonna. Giannis is gonna lose to us. There's no
he
way.
Will rue the day that we traded.
No.
Randall's
going to that trade before RJ does at that point. Has to, right?
There's no way you put RJ in a trade for. And I'm not as high on RJ as a lot of people are. I think he's a very good NBA player. I think he is probably just what he is. I don't know how much better he's ever going to get. But I would just rather take the salary filler and Randall and say we'll ship you off the end of the season too. So
the last one is the Mavs.
Goodness gracious.
To pair Luka and Anthony Davis.
I don't know what this
Jaden
is.
Hardy.
It's gonna no, not even. It's Christian Wood, Spencer Dinwiddie, Reggie Bullock, and a 2025 unprotected, 2027 unprotected, 2029 unprotected, and swaps in 24, 26, and 28.
I'm not taking that.
We would basically have their pick from 2024 to 2029. Basically.
Picks.
I don't want Luka picks. Sorry, I'm good.
That's a fair point. Point.
I don't want picks from the team that Luka's on. Sorry.
Also, I just don't know what that like. We get really pumped in draft capital, but at that point, we have to trade LeBron. What does LeBron command? Like, what does a LeBron trade look like? It's gotta be an insane. Like, it's
probably similar to KD.
Probably
the same standard. Give me a young piece and picks.
Yeah, I don't even know what teams would offer for Braun. That would be a crazy time in basketball.
Bill Simmons talked about this the other day, and he said if you told me 2 summers ago that the Lakers would call the Heat and say we'll give you Anthony Davis for Bam Adebayo, that the Heat would say no. He said I'd say you're a fool.
Would the Heat say
was
no?
Like, yes, right now they would absolutely say no. Bam is probably just better.
Oh shit. Okay.
If I'm taking your reliability to be on the floor player for player, if they're both healthy, I'll take Anthony Davis over a lot of people in the NBA. But he's not the same offensive talent he was. Nope. He's way more dependent on who's playing point guard than we ever imagined would be.
Bro, did you see the vid of how he was moving his
it's just not crazy.
It's day and night.
That makes me nervous. I hate looking at it.
He peaked at 25.
Like, that's crazy. Like, he don't move nothing like that no more. You would think he's 33 years old for real. He's 29.
He's just wonky and sloppy.
That footage was from not even a full 2 years ago. Like, come on. No, that's crazy. He put on weight. He listened to stupid. Whoever told him to put on weight should not be listened to, because like I get you're injured, but like your ability to move like that is what made you special, bro. And you taking that away from your game, now you've severely hampered your ability to make as big of an impact on the game as you used to. And so now we're here, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I can't. Regardless, the Lakers probably aren't going to end up trading Anthony Davis. I think they should look into it, but they're probably not. We're probably not going to trade the 2 picks, and I think we're going to be absolutely horrible for the rest of the season.
But I'm not a Lakers fan.
Yeah. Wait, who was your favorite team?
I'm just a LeBron fan.
So you here with us. So
I'm here in a way, but I don't get all the heartache you guys get watching the Lakers necessarily.
It hurts.
It does, bro. Especially, bro, 2 years ago we was on top of the world. Like that's crazy. 2 years ago we won the chip. And so yeah, that's our Lakers talk. Disgusting. The next thing that I kind of want to get into is Desmond, or just kind of talk about like player leaps. And Desmond Bane is a person that has taken one of those huge leaps that I feel like has gone super underrated. So, Justice, you were the one that wanted to talk about this. So, what do you think about Desmond Bane's so far this season?
Well, he's leading the NBA in fourth quarter scoring. He's basically giving y'all 30 a night. And the craziest part about Desmond Bane is that he is handling the ball when Ja is not on the floor. He has been their playmaker, which is absolutely asinine to even think about if you watched him play basketball 5 months ago.
He's almost doubled his assists from last season.
Like if Ja, well, first of all, they were fine last year when Ja got hurt, but if Ja gets hurt for another stretch, they are just fine. That Grizzlies team is just fine, bro. And so the leap that Desmond, first of all, he's an all-star caliber player.
Yeah, if he's an all-star so far this season. Easily.
If I told you the end of last year, Desmond Bane's an all-star next year, what would you say?
I would have been like, there's just no way, not in the West. But
No.
right now, he looks
see
like
it.
an all-star.
No. And you know what? He's an all-star. And it's now, will he get in because there's voting? Probably not. Because you've got to beat
an all-star caliber player.
Right.
Yeah.
But you've got to beat out Steph and Ja first. And then after that, you get into the next tier of guards, and it's just a tremendously deep position. But I'm just saying, like, they have cemented themselves as the best backcourt in basketball.
Okay. And so for me, I feel like what's so big, like so amazing about Desmond Bane is that he's taken on a larger role, and his efficiency has, if not stayed the same, gotten better, which is super impressive.
Yes.
So like last season, he wasn't playing 30 minutes a game. This season, he's playing 33 and a half. Last season, he was taking 14 and a half field goals per game and shooting 46.1%. This season, he's taking 18 shots per game, basically, and shooting 46%. So, 46.1, 46.7. So, like, damn near taking 4 more shots per game, efficiency stayed the same. Got a couple points better at least, but for the most part, stayed the same. And has taken on a much larger role. Last season, he was taking 7 threes a game. This season, I'm rounding up. It's 6.9. Last season, he was taking 7 threes a game. This season, he's taking 8.6. Last season, he shot 43.6% from 3. This season, 46.3. Taking almost 2 more threes per game and shooting almost 4 percentage points better is crazy. Like, he's taken a monstrous leap, almost doubling his assist numbers. Went from 18 points a game to basically 25. Like, that's a monstrous jump. And people aren't really taking it into account, but he has looked so incredibly good this season. And so what I wanted to ask is, one, so I'm going to give you a player. I'm going to give you a player. You tell me if you would take Desmond Bane over them. And now I think we need to establish parameters. Mm-hmm. Do we want to do like for the future, like team building aspects? Okay. So let's say I give you a player. You tell me if you'd rather have this player or the other player, or Desmond Bane for the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrese Maxey.
Desmond Bane.
Okay. You thought that before.
Wait, you're not high on.
Yes,
you're not high on.
I thought that last year too.
Yeah. I'm not a Maxey guy. I think he's fine. I just
real quick. So is this? So you said team building purposes, like building a team around them, or like putting, or like even switching their situations, like how it.
So do you think will be the better player?
Like yeah,
a better player
in like the next 5 years.
Okay.
So what's your answer?
I'm gonna go with Desmond Bane right now. I like Desmond Bane a lot. I think he showed a lot of versatility last year and a lot of growth in his game, and it's just taking a whole other leap right now. He still had the off the dribble moves. He still work with the pick and roll, still come off screens, but now we're seeing the playmaking come into effect. Him getting other guys involved, the reads he's making, reacting off of those two, and the shooting is just still he's still a sniper, and he can still make every other shot there is too.
I think I said this in the Riv pod, but I think that the absolute ceiling for Maxey is just to be like a slightly better version than Lou Williams.
You did say that.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Why is that tough? Lou Williams is a respectable NBA player.
He is a very respectable NBA player.
He's a scorer.
I just feel like Max is a little bit more than that. I don't know. He's a bigger guy. He's athletic. He can do a lot of different things, and he's still developing even in that sense too. Like he's still developing. So like I'm projecting that he can do more things, but like I think Maxey is a little bit better than what you're saying, even though he's still a little bit better than.
I think he's good.
Yeah.
I think a little bit better than Lou Will. If you're a little bit better than Lou Will, you're like a 2-time All-Star.
Yeah. Okay. And by the way, Desmond Bane's he's one of the harder players to like project the ceiling for, even going back to last year and before that too. Like how much.
If he gets better than this, then what do we do?
I don't know.
Are you Steph Curry at that point? Like, what are we? All right, go ahead.
So you would take him over Tyrese Maxey. Both of you would take him over Tyrese Maxey.
What would you do?
Yeah.
I would take Desmond Bane.
Okay.
Cool. In fantasy, I do not regret that trade, but I would take Desmond Bane. All right, Desmond Bane or Jordan Poole?
Desmond Bane.
I say
Jordan Poole done fooled the world, bro.
Yeah, he got that
he
bag.
Looks piss poor.
Horrible. Yeah. I would take Desmond Bane.
Yeah, me somewhere. So sorry, someone was calling me. I don't know who that is. I would also take Desmond Bane at this moment. I love Poole as well too, but it's making me a little nervous as well.
Okay. All right. Tyler Hero. I just wanted to go through that tier. Tyler Hero.
Desmond Bane.
I'm gonna go with Bane. I'm not big on Hero. A little bit maybe wait. Justice is not on Maxey, but I'm gonna go with Desmond Bane too.
I would say Bane. RJ Barrett.
Oh, Desmond Bane.
Desmond Bane.
I think you can argue Desmond Bane was better than RJ Barrett last year.
Yeah, I think so. I want to say RJ. I'm gonna say RJ.
Okay.
Zach LaVine. Well, we've gone to that next tier of player now. I'm gonna say that the next couple of players of that next tier.
Yeah, that was a jump right there.
Yeah, we've gone to next
large jump.
Shea. Okay,
Anthony Simons. Hold on, Anthony Simons. Somebody talk to me.
That's a good one.
Desmond Bane.
Okay, me too. Desmond Bane.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal.
DeJounte.
Wait, we're projecting for the next 5 years?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Desmond Bane. If I'm projecting for the next 5 years, I'll say Desmond Bane.
Okay.
Brad's pretty old right now, right? Too. What is he right
29
now?
29 probably.
Ooh, and okay, Desmond Bane too. Then if we're projecting 5 years.
DeJounte.
DeJounte.
I think that's a little closer than
No, it's close. It is close. I thought about it.
Yeah. I would take DeJounte too, though.
He looks so good right now, dude.
I would take.
Yeah,
he beat the Bucks' ass without Trae Young.
I'm gonna go with DeJounte. I really, part of me wanted to take Desmond Bane, but especially because of the shooting purposes, the efficiency, shooting from three. I'm gonna go with DeJounte right now, though.
CJ McCollum.
Desmond Bane.
Okay, you said Desmond that quick as shit. Desmond Bane. Jaylen Brown. Not a chance. Yep. No, not even close.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown.
Okay, cool. Is there anyone that is close to you that I didn't say?
Oh, by the way, if I'm projecting 5 years, like I was kind of close on Anthony Simons. I just want you to know. I would take Bane, but I think Simons is going to be something to behold. So,
okay.
So you're saying I should hold on to Anthony Simons in my sleeper league, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, anyways.
Yeah, I've got him in the Rupper league. Although I think that league is dead, but
I know.
I just trade for Towns and
Nobody cares in that league, bro.
I
Like
know.
nobody
My team
cares
is
in that league.
fucking loaded. I'm tired.
Yeah, like nobody cares about that league. It's sad. It's the saddest thing, bro. That's why I was over here just trading people, because if it carries on and I got a bunch of picks, and if it don't, then good enough. Good riddance. I'm trying to think of other ones I was close on there, like those like warrant some conversation.
If you could think of anyone, I couldn't think of anyone outside of that tier. I mean, there's players, but like,
what about Halliburton?
I would take Hallie.
What about Fox?
I would take. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. I would probably take De'Aaron Fox.
Okay, good. I just want. Okay, good. I'm happy for it. Josh Giddey.
Stop. I'm taking
Okay. 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 Hey, I'm just throwing a name out there, just trying to test the waters. I think that's all I got, bro. Yeah,
that's all I got. I'm about to wait. Hold on. I'm gonna do NBA players under 25. The top of this list is just very top heavy.
How old is Desmond Bane? 20, 24, 23?
24.
I'm assuming you would take him over Scotty
Scotty who?
Barnes.
No,
I mean, I'm assuming you would take Scotty over Desmond Bane.
Oh,
yeah, I would take Scotty.
I was about to say.
No. Jalen Green. Ooh, Jalen Green's a good one. I would take Jalen Green, by the way.
I would take Jalen Green as well, actually.
Yeah, the upside and the athleticism is just,
Jabari Smith, talk to me.
I would take Desmond Bane.
Because Jabari looks not good.
Yeah, I would take Desmond Bane. Paolo, on the other hand, looks damn good.
Crazy.
He's very good. He might break that little rookie record. He's going to be the first one to do it.
Dude's next level.
Dog, his pace is so pro that it's insane. Like
he can score every level of
you don't see rookies play. Like LeBron came in and he didn't have that pace, but he was so athletic that he had an immediate impact on the game. Not only is Paulo Julius Randle size, but he's got all the skill you could ever want in the world. He got counters for counters. If you body him up, he's pushing you off of him. He's got the mid-range game. The three ball can be a little more consistent.
Yeah, but he can't. But you gotta
you've got to guard
let him. Yeah, you not let him just shoot it. He's athletic.
What is Paulo's projection right now? What is his ceiling as the top player in the NBA? Top 10? Top 5?
Top 5, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like top 5.
Definitely top 10 for sure. Like that's not even a question.
I love how much new talent comes into the league. Like it's something every year. Like
if you could have Paulo or Tatum for the next 10 years, who would you pick?
Tatum.
Khalil?
It's Tatum right now.
Okay, I was just curious.
What about you?
Right now it's hard to not pick Tatum because he's so elite right now. Yeah, and the effort Tatum brings on the defensive side of the ball is unmatched amongst superstars. Those guys don't do that. And Tatum competes.
Listen,
it's beautiful.
Hear me out.
That's what you want.
Oh, I'm hearing.
I got a good one for you. Okay. A little bit of ASMR.
Okay.
Right. Paolo or Cade?
Oh no, bro! Don't.
Yep.
Don't turn me against my boy.
Got you. That's your guy.
Because you said Cade has Luka ability, Luka talent.
Yeah, but if they're both projecting it to me to be top 5, they're
exactly.
same tier players.
Help us out. What you got?
Paolo or Cade? I asked this for you specifically.
I think Paolo is.
My answer is Paolo.
I think Paolo is probably further along scoring the ball than Cade is.
Yeah.
I think physically he's further along, but when you watch Cade play for 48 minutes and watch how he operates in a half-court offense, that's special. He's so special, bro. And I think.
Listen, what's the answer?
Give me Paulo.
Oh yeah. He's never taken anyone over Cade until today. We got his ass. Boy.
I just can't be be biased when it comes to basketball, bro. Football, I can do that because I'm pushing agendas. Of basketball, I try to keep it real in basketball, and I can't do that.
All right, I mean,
Cade is special.
The dude's 6'10" and doing what he's doing that's just hard. It's hard to
special.
Not go with Cade is special though for sure. I want to see how his scoring develops as he continues, but he's already gotten better from year 1 to 2. But how is he going to do it? So
I got one more question for y'all. This is prime TikTok content right here. Rank these 3 backcourts: Hawks, Cavs, Grizzlies. Yeah.
Okay. So here's my thing. I got to give this some context. Darius Garland is really good. Darius Garland has not been that much better this year than Kevin Porter Jr.
He was missing his eyes a little fucked up, Gotta give him a little leeway.
Yeah, but if you look at their numbers, like actually Kevin Porter Jr. has actually just been better than Darius Garland. And okay, I think
but do we don't think that.
No, I don't. No, you know what I'm saying though. Like, so it's tough for me because I'm judging off this year. Trey has not been as efficient scoring the ball, and this is where I give him and Garland some leeway. They're both learning how to play with another guy who's taking the ball out of their hands. So there's an adjustment period. And I think that if we're giving them some leeway with that adjustment period, I think in the future, I would say that I like Trey more than Ja. I like Trey more than Garland. I like Trey more than Mitchell. And whoever anybody else shooting guard is. So I would probably go with the Hawks purely off Trey being, to me, the best player in that scenario.
Okay.
And DeJounte being better than Bane to me. And he's not as good as Donovan Mitchell, who has unlocked a complete other level of his game and is competing on defense for the first time in 3 years. But I think Trey's got a good distance on Garland and a good distance from the other second options. I think him and Ja are pretty right there. But I would say the Hawks.
Hawks, you say Hawks, Grizzlies, Cavs, or Hawks, Cavs, Grizzlies?
Hawks, Cavs, Grizzlies in the future, maybe. Okay, that's so tough. That's so tough because it depends on if this is the legit version of Desmond Bane.
Now I'm ranking. Now this is where recency bias comes very much into play, and I'm going to admit right now that I'm a prisoner of the moment. So I'm going to put that out here. I'm locked into the moment.
So the Grizzlies are one for you. Okay.
So as of right now, ranking these 3 backcourts, the Grizzlies are number 1 for me. I think they look very, very good. Ja's like top 6 in scoring throughout the first 3 quarters, and then Desmond Bane leads the NBA. And leads, not just like leads Western Conference, not just leads guards, leads the entire NBA in fourth quarter points. Now, granted, small sample size, it's only 12 minutes. But,
listen, I'm not worried about the sample size. I'm really not, because the small sample size is also in a game stretch. I love the Desmond Bane jump. Is it sustainable for Desmond Bane to keep doing this? We don't know, but he looks damn good. But my point is, when we're comparing backcourts, you also have to compare the rest of the rosters, because guards are more dependent on everybody else on their team than anybody else in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like at that point, like, yeah, because point guard, I mean, if you don't have the right players around the right point guard, then it doesn't matter.
I feel like the same could be said for center, though.
Nah, not really.
I feel like he can.
Not the way you can, not the way you can for a point guard. But my point is, if I got to contribute the rest of the roster, then I would go with the Cavs, because they have Evan Mobley, who I think is a next level special talent.
Yeah.
I think the context that needs to be applied is, are we talking rank these 3 backcourts right now, or rank these 3 backcourts over for the future?
Right now, it's Grizzlies.
For me, I was saying rank these 3 backcourts right now. And so my answer would be Grizzlies, Cavs, Hawks.
Yeah.
That would be my answer right now.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me, how many games are we, like 10 games into the season? Asked me 10 games ago, I said the Hawks are the best backcourt in the East. So that would have already put them above the Cavs for me. And Ja and Desmond Bane were not above the Hawks for me. So Hawks would have been my that's why I said I'm a prisoner of the moment right now. And so I'm saying right now I would go Grizzlies, Cavs, Hawks, because Donovan Mitchell looks unreal. MVP level shit he's doing. So
yeah. At the moment, it is Grizzlies, Cavs, Hawks.
Yeah, so
100%. I was trying to project. That is my apology. I didn't understand what you was.
It's fine. That's my fault as the host. You feel me?
That's on you.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me. I'll take that on the chin. What about you, Khalil?
Right now, Grizzlies, Cavs, Hawks. Going forward, I'm going to go with Hawks, Grizzlies, Cavs.
Okay. Boom. Just so you know, Justice, a lot of that's not making it into TikTok, so they're not getting none of your context. So they're going to be on your ass, boy. No, I'm playing. I'm gonna put it in. I'm not a dickhead. And so that kind of ends our little player debate. Desmond Bane. Oh, you did want to talk Luka too. I agree. Luka does look like the second best player in the NBA. I think it's Giannis and then everyone else, but I think Luka is the number one in that everyone else.
Yeah. Well, Giannis is.
He's unreal.
I'm not going to keep doing this. I've been doing it for 2 years on this podcast now, basically. Everybody should know what I think about Giannis. The Bucks are a juggernaut. They're winning the championship.
Listen, y'all didn't have the Bucks winning the chip. I don't remember who you had.
I had Clippers Bucks.
I had the Bucks winning the chip.
Did I not have the Bucks winning? Me?
I don't remember. I think you had them there.
I don't know if you had.
Surely I had them winning.
I don't think you had them winning. I think you had the Clippers. I think it went Clippers, Bucks.
I'd have to listen to it. Anyway,
I'd have to listen to it too. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah.
If the Bucks are healthy, they're a juggernaut. They're winning. I don't care what anybody says.
That might have been on the pod that didn't get dropped though, because we did talk about that. Was on the pod that didn't get dropped.
We talked about it with Riv. We talked contenders.
We talked contenders.
But I think we talked about who we thought was going to win it too, though. So we talked about the conference and who was just going to make it out of the conference and who's going to win it ultimately.
We all put the Warriors in there, and them boys is
rough.
Anyways, but to touch on Luka
and the Clippers.
Yeah, the Clippers are just not healthy, and like that was our concern when we talked about it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but it's
that's what. But we put that asterisk on a lot of teams, but that Clippers team would matter more than anybody else that they're healthy, and if they're not healthy, then they're irrelevant, and they're not healthy, so they're irrelevant. There they are. They're just bad. They're not good. They're not fun to watch right now. I'm tired of watching Paul George. So to touch on Luka, so LeBron and KD have taken, to me, obvious steps back into what they were 2 years ago. So then it turns into, is it Luka or Jokic? And I think that Luka gives you all the playmaking Jokic did on top of just being a more elite scorer.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Luka is a clear number 2 best player in the NBA. And I think on a night-to-night basis, if you said we're taking you into a 7-game series, this guy's to compete with this guy, I've always said that anybody in the top 10 can compete amongst one another, but I would give the edge to Luka over a lot of people. So I just think Luka is a next level. And the way he's scoring the ball right now is absolutely insane.
Have you guys ever watched The Office?
Well, yeah.
You know that quote where Andy says, like, I don't exactly remember what it is, like word by word, but it's something like, I wish you knew you were in the good old days before they before they were gone or something like that. I feel like I'm realizing the good old days go, because like we're at that point where like LeBron and KD and Steph, they just aren't the best players in
Steph
they're
is
not.
They're not 3 or 4.
I'm saying like they're not, like their time of dominance, I feel like, has gone. And granted, the Warriors won the chip last season, but like their time starting now, their time of dominance is gone. Like you look at a LeBron-led team and we're the 14th seed. We're the 14th seed. You look at KD's, like they were the top 3 players in the NBA for the last decade. And so like now I feel like for the first time in a while, like those days are gone. And so Steph is the one that's still hanging around there. I would still take Steph through. You did that start bench cut or whatever one, the Legion of Hoops one. KD's got to go from that picture.
Yeah, KD's got to go.
KD's got to go from that picture. And so, but you look at LeBron's led team, they're the 14 seed. You look at a KD led team, they're the 10 seed. You look at the Steph led team, they're the 12 seed. Like, when's the last time that was happening? And so, but you look at the Luka led team right now, they're the 7 seed. The Ja-led team's the 5 seed. The Jokic-led team's the 4 seed. Devin Booker's team is the 2 seed. It's a 3 seed. Zion's team is the 8 seed. Giannis, the 1 seed. Donovan Mitchell, the 2 seed. Tatum, the 3 seed. Trae Young, the 4 seed. Like the young players, it's like that new era of basketball is here, I feel like. And so
that's a TikTok tangent right there. I need that right there, boy. That was
you like that, right?
Story to me.
You like that, right? You like that shit. Yeah. And so yeah, I just feel like that like I was thinking the other day, like, damn, the good old days are gone because now I feel like it's Giannis's NBA. It's Giannis's NBA.
That's 100%. It's been Giannis's NBA. Let's not get that twisted.
True. That's true. He's been the best player in the league undoubtedly for the past 2 seasons, I'd say.
You tried to give me some resistance on that in the past.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here now, though. You know,
Thank
my
you.
train has arrived.
That.
And so yeah, I definitely feel like Luka is the second best player in the NBA without much debate. Who's 3 for you? Steph? For me, Steph is probably 3 right now.
Steph or Jokic, I think that could change. That could change to me on a weekly basis.
That's fair.
So
I'm gonna probably go with Steph.
I would go with Steph. Embiid looks Embiid looks really. Yeah, my chair just dropped. Embiid looks really weird. Like he looks like he does not.
I think he's checked out, bro. Them changing that offense to Harden, I think he's checked out already. I think he's not with it.
Yeah, the body's not there. It looks like an old man or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he looks clunky. I don't know. That Sixers team is definitely a big letdown for me. I was high on the Sixers, and they're the 12 seed. So
I think you could make a case for Tatum to be top 5 right now.
I think you could. I think he's up in that MVP. He looks really good.
Like he's better than LeBron right now.
Yes.
He's better than Kevin Durant right now.
Yes.
So I mean,
is LeBron top 10 right now?
Yeah.
I think I can name you 10 players better than LeBron.
I don't think I could.
Right now.
I don't think there's 10 guys I would take above LeBron on my champion.
He's just saying right now.
I'm not asking.
Right now, then yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I was about to start naming people like Donovan Mitchell is better than LeBron right now. Don't he is.
You gotta
DeJounte Murray. It's probably
no. I'm drawing a line. Stop. No, you are disrespectful as hell.
I was trying to get my shit off.
No matter what this roster construction is, if you're telling me I've got in a vacuum, there's not 10 guys better than LeBron, but yes, if we're taking every roster construction in this situation and how they're playing, yes, there are 10 guys better than LeBron right now.
But we couldn't say that for the past decade.
No, we couldn't say that last year. He was top 4 last year.
Exactly. So like there's a clear drop off that I just want to be called. But yeah, you're right. That shit was TikTok gold that last year.
I'm telling you.
And so yeah, the last 2 things we have to talk about is the Nets firing Steve Nash and the Kings, Halliburton Fox decision. So I feel like we'll start with the Nets and Nash, ended on a fun note with, the Kings. The Nets situation is absolute dumpster fire. I want to start by saying that team they got to blow it up. They got to blow it up. Kyrie is not going to be there after the season. I feel like they should have traded him in the offseason because there's absolutely zero chance he resigns. So you might as well get something for him. I don't know if he ends the season on the Nets because like I said, you might as well get something for him. But also with his current situation, I don't know what team would be willing to trade from in February. Unless you're at the Los
Angeles
than
you
Lakers.
think.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
The Miami Heat should be calling them as soon as they can.
And KD, I think he's out after this year too. And which is tragic because like KD's had a rough couple of years. Like, he went from that Warriors team and he just couldn't get it going here on the Nets. This was supposed to be his team. He chose Kyrie to be his running mate, and they just couldn't put it together. I don't know what to think about the Nets, to be honest, but do you think firing Nash was the right decision?
Yeah, just because 1, I don't think he's a good coach.
Nope.
2, if you can't manage personalities, at least as a guy who was an NBA MVP, you can't manage other NBA personalities, then what do you offer me if you're not good on the X's and O's either?
I think it was chalked when Kyrie said we don't need a coach, or like we don't have a coach. We just gotta at that point. Okay.
I mean, bringing him in anyways was just random. At that point. It was
what are we doing?
Move.
It's like letting Jeff Saturday coach. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Lord.
But
he had a great press conference. So
trying
to defend himself. That's
having a 18-20 record or whatever as a high
school coach,
and then getting an NFL job is crazy.
It'll be interesting. I can't wait.
It won't last longer than this year. I can promise you that right now. But anyways, to touch on that, Nash was dealt a tough hand. So I will say that. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does have X's and O's ability, but he had players who weren't willing to do it. If you remember that summer league interview where they asked Cam Thomas about Steve Nash and his face,
he rolled his eyes. He was like, bro, he had free CT in his bio for like the last.
Yeah.
Bro, Nick Claxton was commenting on the official Nets Instagram, commenting free CT. Like, that's
Hilarious.
crazy.
Yeah.
What are we
So-
doing?
So yeah, that place is just a dumpster fire. They're done for. That team is done for. You should get the most you can out of your assets while they're still assets. So, which I guess the same logic applies to the Lakers.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to talk about that team.
Okay, good. We don't have to. We don't have to. So, who's the ideal hire?
I
They
don't
have
know,
that guy-
bro.
they
Quinn
hi- they made a
Snyder, I
hire.
guess. Quinn Snyder is probably the best guy you could get right now.
Yeah, what did we think about the hire? Because that made no sense to me.
Jock Vaughn,
Well-
he was already in house. I feel like that was the easiest thing
Yeah.
for them to do. You know,
Right.
like rather than go out like and add Ime Udoka, an already controversial figure, to like that's just like putting like a metal can in a microwave. You're like, it's gonna blow. You feel me? Like
Right.
you're already like your situation is already at a tipping point. To add another controversial figure to that situation is just not the wave. So cool. The easiest thing for them to do, the path with the least resistance, was take someone in-house who no one seems to have any problems with and give him a chance.
But he can't change anything
And
because he's already
but,
part of that culture they've established.
but I don't think they need him to. Like, I think that Josiah and Sean Marks know the season's done. The season's chalked. Let's put Jock Vaughn and, go crazy, buddy. He's not going to be their head coach next season.
No,
Let's be
no
real.
way. There's not a chance.
So in order and maybe the Ime Udoka shit dies down by the beginning of next season and they hire him then. But the easiest thing for him to do right now is to just promote Jock Vaughn and say, go knock yourself out, buddy. Go win 45 games and get knocked out of the playoffs.
I'm sorry. Is Darvin Ham the coach for the Lakers next year?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he is too. Okay. That's one of
I don't think it's his fault. I don't think it's his fault.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
It's not his fault at all.
No.
Yeah, it starts up top. That's where it starts.
When did a tide change, or has it been this way for Pelinka and Lakers fans?
We've always
despise that
hated
man.
Pelinka.
Yeah,
Always hated Pelinka. Okay, just
I
checking.
despise that man.
The day that he basically equated signing Contavious Caldwell Pope to the
Jesus.
reckoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what are we talking about? And so, but the thing, here we go again. Yes, it's always been like that. I do not like Rob Pelinka. I think his no, he builds horrible rosters. He does not know how to manage assets. We let Alex Caruso walk for absolutely no reason.
Tough.
Magic was really no better, but at least teams liked him. Like
Yeah.
people don't even like Rob Pelinka. GMs don't like Rob Pelinka. They're not trying to help Rob Pelinka. We're already the Lakers. Teams don't want to help us. Adding someone to that situation who teams just already do not like, doubling down on that. At least teams respect Magic. Like Magic, like Magic calls, you pick up. Like,
Yeah.
come on. But yeah, bro, that's how I feel.
He built one championship roster, so
He didn't even build it. They were already there.
But you know what I'm saying.
KCP
though.
was there. I guess he signed KCP, but whatever, like he did it once. Cool. He signed Danny Green. He lucky Kawhi didn't sign with us. That was what blessed us. Honestly, maybe we would have won the chip with Kawhi too. But still, like that was the reason that we got it, because Danny Green waited for Kawhi to sign because he wanted to be a Laker so bad. But yeah, that's
Right.
now moving on to the last thing is, the Kings. Now, Tyrese Halliburton looks to have taken a jump. He was, would you say Desmond Bane is most improved player right now? Probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Tyrese Halliburton was my pick coming into the season, and I think he's up there in noticeable lead. Do you think the Kings regret picking De'Aaron Fox over Tyrese Halliburton?
Go ahead, Kalu.
So I think Tyrese brings a lot of versatility to your team, playing the point guard, but he can also play off ball a lot better. I feel like I think the Kings had to make a move, and they made a move. They wanted to be more competitive, and they had to, pick one of those guys. I think I would have picked Tyrese Halliburton over De'Aaron Fox, but I don't know what that trade package looks like if you're trying to ship Fox out of there and also remain competitive, because they just had so many years of bad basketball. They had to do something. There was a lot of pressure, but if you keep like a Tyrese Halliburton, I think it wanes much more of acceptance if you want to draft a Jay, not Ivy, and bring another guard in that situation too. Then, so I would think I picked Tyrese Halliburton over Fox.
So it's not necessarily that I think you should pick Halliburton over Fox, because Fox has kind of unlocked himself as well.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, Fox has been phenomenal this year. That Kings team is not good. It is what it is. Fox is good. His numbers speak to him being good.
Yeah.
Halliburton, there are things Halliburton does better than Fox. He is the better playmaker. I want to say he's the better shooter, but Fox is shooting the ball really well this year. My point in the whole thing is, why do you not just keep them both? Like, why is that a problem? Because they're both, I mean, Hallie's what, 6'5", probably?
Yeah.
6'4".
Yeah.
That's playable in today's NBA at the 2.
Fox wasn't playing well with Hallie though when it was going.
But they can figure that out.
You would think so.
But then the problem wasn't Halliburton. The problem was who they had playing bigs, guys who couldn't get out of the paint and spread the floor. And Sabonis can at least get out and play make a little bit and take the ball out of Fox's hand, which is what they should have just let Halliburton do. And then eventually brought in a big, like, look to draft bigs. But instead we're trading our all-star level point guard for a big who's older, and we probably won't re-sign again after his tenure's done here. You know what I'm saying? So do I think they made a mistake in keeping Fox? No. Do I think they made a mistake in trading Halliburton? Yes.
That's fair. There's a ceiling to being competitive right now where they are.
Yeah, there's no reason to trade Halliburton. Like, they had no like justified reason. Like your answer was Domantas Sabonis, who is just a who was just like a once in every 4-year span all-star, maybe, like at his peak, right? So what are we doing? Why was that the trade? Now, if I had to pick one or the other, I'd probably actually still lean Halliburton. But if this is the version of Fox we get, I would say Fox. Because as great as Halliburton's been this year, Fox has been a little bit better. I think they're both good defenders at their position, and I just think it's sickening that for some reason they felt the need to split those two up and make a choice that didn't have to be made.
I wonder if there was more to it.
Can't be, because Fox has done nothing but speak well about Halliburton.
It's just weird. Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It speaks a lot about the organization and how they've been for years, and feeling like you need to make a move to be competitive. And still in that move you make, there's a very evident ceiling to how competitive you're going to be. And then what happens after that? What moves can you make after that? Are you hoping for a Keegan Murray jump? What's happening?
Hey, if we're going to be stupid,
draft Keegan Murray, you could have all three.
If we're going to be stupid, like, why did you draft Davion Mitchell?
Yeah, that's the thing, Davion. But also, like, when you have one of the longest playoff droughts of any organization in professional sports, like, what do you expect? Like, there's obviously an organizational issue. Like, if that's me, if I'm the Kings and I'm like, oh, there's pressure on us to make the playoffs, I'm like, oh, I don't give a shit. I ain't made it in 20 years. I might as well just keep not making it and hope it works out. That's true. I'm just saying, like, there's a history of incompetence.
The price of the price of Tyrese Halliburton right now to trade for is much higher than it was when they traded him.
Easily. And
all they had to do was sit there for a year.
And all they do is keep a good player.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? Like, I just don't understand the Kings. And it's frustrating because I'm a Fox guy. I love De'Aaron Fox. If you had asked me 2 years ago if I'd rather have Fox or Ja, I would have said Fox. Now I'm not stupid enough to say that. But
the thing was, people were like, oh, yeah, they're trading to get Sabonis so they can go for it. Like, this is a win now move. This is a win now move. And what have they done? They're still bad. They did not make the playoffs last year. They're not making the playoffs this year. You traded to try and win now, to go for it. And what have you done? What have you accomplished? There's nothing has come of that trade. Domantas Sabonis is who he is. He's not making any leaps. Tyrese Halliburton can get way better than he is right now. And so, like, I would have rather kept Halliburton, see what that ceiling is like. And if you wanted to trade him down the line. His value was not going down from when they traded him. It was only going to go up.
And people were shocked about that move, right?
They got flexed.
I was blown away.
Like, why? Everybody was shocked by that move. So there had to be other places they could have went to get better assets in return.
And all Halliburton did was prove us right. Like,
it was a bad move then, and it's a bad move now.
It's worse now. It looks worse right now. And if the Lakers would have called them and said, we'll give you Anthony Davis for Halliburton and a pick out of like, hell yeah, sign me up, bro. Sign me up, because I'm tired of Anthony Davis. Also, but most improved thing, Keldon Johnson still got a chance.
Keldon Johnson's killing shit.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, for sure.
The Spurs don't look that bad. I mean,
no, they don't.
I mean, they're bad, but like they're not.
Yeah.
They have three more wins than us. You know,
Yeah.
they got more wins than the Warriors. You know, the Timberwolves, they look bad.
What's with the Warriors, by the way? I think we were supposed to touch on that, but I just want to say what I think the problem is real quick.
Go ahead, please. The Jazz too. You're supposed to touch on the Jazz, but yeah, go ahead.
That's whatever.
Yeah, they just got a whole bunch of big guys that can shoot.
They just got a bunch of guys that fit and play hard. Good
beautifully
job.
constructed roster. That's why they're
did great. Sign me up. Listen, the Warriors are about 2 years early on relying on their youth. And for some reason, they watched their team, a championship team last year, who had experienced players coming off their bench, and thought, well, these guys showed flashes, so they should be able to make the jump. I think it was a bet on Jordan Poole. It was a bet on Jonathan Kuminga.
Moses Moody.
And it was a bet on Moses Moody. And I can tell you all three of them aren't holding up their end of the bargain.
They thought they were going to get James Wiseman back. He looks bad. He is bad.
Yeah,
he's bad.
It's not playable. Yes.
He looks bad.
They should have had LaMelo Ball. They should have had Tyrese Halliburton, but instead they're walking around with James Wiseman.
They also should have traded him when people didn't know what he was. Like when he's done nothing but diminish his value. Like when you're a miss, it's like draft picks. Like draft picks immediately become less valuable when there's a player attached to them. That's the same thing with James Wiseman. His potential was through the roof. We didn't know what he was. He looked great in summer league. He looked good in the preseason. That's when you should have traded him. But now
he's still there is crazy.
But now no one is going to take him.
No, and truly he's bad. Like he really is just not good. And I don't think there's like a hope that he gets better. I think he's just not good. And I also don't think he knows where he fits in on a roster like that. He's probably never played that style of basketball, and some guys can't learn that.
Yeah. And apparently he's like, I want the ball, like demanding the ball and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you not know who you're playing with, buddy?
But with their starting five is one of the three best offensive and defensive units in basketball.
Yeah.
And you can't win games because of your bench, because you thought that your young guys were ready when they've only ever shown you flashes in 6-minute spans. So let's use our brains a little bit and say, hey, let's use our vets.
Well,
these young guys worked out.
They paid a guy 100 and how much Jordan Poole paid? 150 mil, 160 mil. They paid a guy 150 and 60 mil to come off the bench and be youth. Not good. I don't want to say useless, but he does not look as good as he.
I'm not mad at that because we all would have given him that contract.
I would have given it to him easy, but that's what you bet on. Like you bet on Jordan Poole taking that leap, and he does not take that leap whatsoever.
And I don't know if I'm supposed to blame Draymond for knocking him in his shit, or if
I was about to say
somebody else. But like Jordan Poole is inefficient, doesn't look good with the ball in his hands, doesn't look like a good decision maker. Like his creativity is still beautiful. He's still fun to watch. Like because he does like 3 things a game. You're like, you know what? I don't think I would have thought somebody would even try that. So that's why Khalil thinks he plays like Steph, and in a sense he's right.
In a sense, like the play style is a little bit there.
But I just don't know how you come off a championship and you're like, okay, we're going to bank on guys who haven't proven anything at the championship level.
That's arrogance, overconfidence, you thinking more of your players than they actually are. You overvaluing your players. I don't know. I mean, they see those guys more than anyone. They saw the leaps they were taking in the summer, and they probably thought, oh shit, this is going to translate super well on the court during real NBA action. And it just has not. And now granted, we're only 10 games through the season. We could be in February at the All-Star break. Like, damn, the Warriors are 20-5.
Yeah, easily.
20-9.
I mean, we're still early in it, and it's hard to draw conclusions and get to that point too. Like it's at the end of the day, it's still the Warriors, and we still have to give them some some leniency in this regard, just because they've been in situations not like this per se, but they've struggled in parts during the season, and they've pulled it out, got to the playoffs, and just turned it on somehow too. But now we're having to see them put young guys in situations to succeed, and which they've kind of done as well, but lean on them a little bit more, and they're not, like you said, holding up their end of the bargain.
If you had to get
Klay Thompson.
Oh yeah,
he's wiggity washed.
If you had to bet on them figuring it out, would you?
Yeah, figuring. But what is figuring it out? Winning the chip? No.
I think they can still win. I just think there's moves to be made that they have to do.
Yeah. I agree. Currently constructed though, no.
As currently constructed, they can't. I don't think those young guys are ready. maybe those young guys figured out in 25 games, like you said. Maybe in 30 games, we're having a completely different conversation about, damn, those young guys is hitting. And I don't think this is Jordan Poole we get all year. I'd say he probably gets back to form.
All it takes is one for him. All it takes is one.
Yeah, it just one, literally.
Just one for him.
Let Steph be out for 2 games. Let him go for 30 for 2 games.
Exactly.
But the positives are Steph's amazing. Still, just absolutely unreal. Andrew Wiggins is better than he was last year. He is. Andrew Wiggins is better than he was last year.
Ben Simmons is an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, Draymond is just Draymond. It is what it is. Klay Thompson is washed. So we've got to figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah. He is not. I don't know if they can't re-sign him. Like, he can't get an extension.
No, but somebody's going to pay him. It's going to be us.
No.
It's going to be us. Malik is going to be like, Klay Thompson's available?
No.
I wonder if he'll take $146 million.
Listen, hey, bro, if Klay could stay in that motherfucking corner and shoot that thing, he can't defend like he could before. But if you can still shoot it, then go ahead, bro. Not for 146 mil though. But,
the Knicks.
Yeah. Some big market teams would be like, Klay Thompson.
That'll sell tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
China,
watch. It's gonna be us. It's gonna be us.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. We got into a whole lot of stuff, basketball, football. If you like those sports, there's guaranteed something for you in this episode. So make sure you subscribe to the pod on everywhere the podcasts are available, Apple, Spotify, whatever you listen to it on, it's on there. Leave a 5-star rating and review on the pod. Follow us on TikTok. It's at the Run It Up Podcast. Follow us, subscribe on YouTube, Run It Up Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Najee Adams _ the pod on Twitter at Run It Up Pod. Khalil on Twitter at Below44, Justice on Twitter at Justice Reed 2. We're about to head up out of here. Hope you have a litty day, a litty night, a litty life. And just like we do on every episode of this podcast, make sure y'all go run it up.
And don't be like Udonis Haslam.